Did Mike Ryan just disrespect you? Like, why were you waving him off like that? Why? What was just happening between you and Mike Ryan that would be this tense this early in the morning?
Well, I'm very proud of my new shirt, my new T-shirt that I'm wearing today. I'm wearing a Brett the Hitman Hart shirt. It's new. It's a new one. He's my favorite. And I thought I was going to show Mike something that he would appreciate. I said, "What do you think of my new shirt?"
Don't like it. I'm not a Bret Hart guy. I'm a Shawn Michaels guy. You can't be a Shawn Michaels guy and a Bret Hart guy.
That's right.
Those people don't exist.
Well, that's right. And I'm a Bret Hart guy.
Yeah, it's Crips
I'm
and
on
Bloods.
the right side.
No, you're not. No, huge red flag. Ladies, if you're out there dating somebody that's a wrestling fan, number one, don't. Number two, if they're a Bret Hart guy, run for the hills.
Yeah. You were disrespecting Mike Ryan. You did the hand where you waved your hand at him like just, I don't even know. It's the maximum pshaw. You're just like, get out of here. I disrespect your opinion.
You know who's a Bret Hart guy? CM Punk.
Yeah.
He seems nice.
You know what? I'm in on CM Punk these days, too.
Yeah.
Well, and what?
Yeah. No, that checks out. That tracks.
No, you're right. I did my best Logan Roy to him, and I told him to F off.
Yeah, what is that?
L to the OG.
But what are you doing? What are you doing disrespecting Mike Ryan?
He disrespected me.
How many days are you going to start the show stirring shit? Yeah.
I'm stirring the shit.
Yes.
He goes.
This was a private conversation.
Mike,
you think I want to lead with my Football Tuesday with wrestling?
He goes to you and he says, like, I've never seen this kind of vulnerability around here. All of you guys are preeners. He says to you, how do you like my shirt? Yeah. He's looking for you to look at the shirt you're wearing. Yeah. Button up to the larynx.
Right. Look at my haircut. I don't want to be talking about wrestling. It's bad for my brand.
For so long, we're so damn excited that we put it in a song. Don't need no check downs, every big hits and quarterbacks. Keep your fantasy team from falling off the track. Football is back, Jack. Whether on the ground or through the air, when the chips are down and you throw a prayer. When your team is primed and on the hunt, it's 4th and 10, you refuse to punt. When the shoulder pads and helmets crack, that's how you know that football is back, Jack. Let me hear you say, football is back, Jack. This high is wild and out of control. And we're gonna ride it every week till we reach the Super Bowl. Don't need no check downs. Give me big hits and quarterbacks. If you say this game's the best, I'll say it's a gag. Football is back, Jack. Football is back, Jack. Football is back.
Tony wasn't here yesterday, and he's dying to talk Dolphins, and we've moved on, right? The football waits for no one. It's Bears-Vikings now, and we've all moved on. He's like, wait a minute, I want to get on the train. So, Tony, I'm going to let you get back on the train here to talk some Dolphins here by giving you a handful of stats of the day from yesterday and that Dolphin game, and you pick what you think is the best, what should have been the stat of the day yesterday from among these 4 or 5 Dolphin stats.
Start of the day, it is your start of the day. Start of the day, it is your start of the day. Start of the day, it is your start of the day. Start of the day, it is your start of the day.
Got a new band?
What is that? Stat of the day is presented by Amazon Prime Video. Thursday Night Football is on. The Washington Commanders take on the Green Bay Packers. Coverage begins Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern, only on Prime Video.
Here are your choices from the stats from that Dolphins apocalypse that has everyone in town saying that was the end. Like, it doesn't even seem like an overreaction to have the season go down the toilet in what was a must-win game, according to Billy and Greg Cody.
Only for the fan base.
Yeah, what kind of bullshit was that? We didn't even call him on that yet. Never mind. Here are your stat choices, Tony. The 43 yards in the first half was the fewest for the Dolphins since 1991. The Colts scored on all 7 of their possessions. That's the first time that's happened this century that a team had failed to record a stop the entire game. This century, and that stat was given as and that's as far back as we looked. It's too many games. I'm not even.
We
kidding.
can't look further. Actually,
no, they said they were doing that stat during the game. They're like, maybe we'll look this up more, but just know that this century this hasn't happened. The Colts hadn't scored on their first 5 possessions in a decade. That hadn't happened, and they had 3 15-play drives, and they had 5 of that all last season. All last season, and in that game, they had 3 15-play drives. Which is the best of those stats?
Oof. There is a lot to unpack there. Okay, let's start with the 43 yards. Because Mike said it in my ear, they were playing a different sport in 1991. Totally different. 43 yards when you have that head coach, that quarterback, those wide receivers, that running back. All of those guys are fast, can get on the outside and beat anybody. And then all of a sudden Xavier Howard says, you know what? We just took away his first read, and it's kind of over. He doesn't play quarterback after the first read is taken away.
A guy who was out of the league last year, by the way.
Right. On the Dolphins, who saw Tua in practice every single day and said, if you got to take away his first read, it's kind of over, right? And we just saw the fruits of that with a Colts team that we looked around and said, was there anything good about the Colts offseason? Did they do anything special? Was there anything that was otherworldly that they did? Not really. They signed Daniel Jones. They got rid of the quarterback who they thought was going to be the future, and Anthony Richardson. Now he's gone. They got a bunch of guys on the outside, and then Jonathan Taylor. That's really it.
Have you answered my question of which of the stats is the best?
Uh,
I did. You weren't listening.
1991.
1991's 43 yards in the
Different
first half.
sport.
I thought that he was saying there's so much to unpack here. Let's start with the first one.
Well, though, that is the first one.
That
yeah.
was. And
That
then
was
he
the
added
first one.
to it.
And then I added a little bit of
There's a little
juice
fire
to it, yeah.
hose of a football Tuesday because you got to understand it's a rare Tuesday that feels like a Monday.
Exactly right.
He's got a lot to say.
I have a stat I could add to it to go on your stats, Dan. The Dolphins, well, more specifically, Tyreek Hill, has not had a catch over 30 yards in a year.
That doesn't even make sense.
That doesn't, because that's like his whole game, isn't it?
Week 1 against the Jags last season, his last catch over 30 yards.
Was it? Wow. He got arrested that day.
He did.
Well, detained, not arrested.
He hasn't been the same since then. He has not been the same since
Does he have a case there?
Since that very moment. You can chart it statistically. Since he was arrested, everything that's happened to the Dolphins makes you forget. Barry Jackson pointed this out. It wasn't that long ago that they were 8-2 and atop the division over the Bills, and you thought that they were going to beat Josh Allen all the time because Josh Allen had to come down here and throw 50 times until his arm fell off, and he still couldn't beat the Dolphins until he beat the Dolphins whatever it is, 7 straight times.
How did the Dolphins have a 3-game lead on the Buffalo Bills in week 13 less than 2 seasons
It wasn't
ago?
that long ago. And listen to this, okay? Because if you didn't think it could get worse, because I thought the only ways that home opener could have gone worse is if Tyreek Hill and Tua had been injured. That's the only thing in my imagination that would have made it worse. Then I've never seen that Dolphin game played.
Well, Dan, it would have been worse if it were actually a home opener. Because I would have loved to have seen that unfold in front of the fan base at Hard Rock Stadium.
Fair enough, but one of the things that you feared, okay, I don't know how the day could have gone much worse when in Pittsburgh, Jalen Ramsey is winning the game at the end, and Xavier Howard is running around on the field when he's been your best corner for 5 years. You won nothing, you wasted it, and now you can't cover anybody, and you told him, and good Lord, was his off-field stuff troubled. There's some soul selling going on here with Tyreek Hill and the rest. When the Xavier Howard stuff off the field is nuts.
He's a disaster.
But a disaster. But he was great for them as a corner. And then listen to what he said after the game, because certainly you could have imagined that this was so. You saw that it was so because Tony's saying first read, you take away the first read. That's how you stop Tua. Nobody could stop Tua when this team was right. Don't tell me you take away the first read and it's that easy. But Xavier Howard seemed to know where everything was going. And look at what he says after the game.
Yeah, we knew, it's a lot of a bang, quick throws in the middle. So I told him, man, clog the middle and make sure they throw the ball outside. And we clogged the middle and I think we got 2 interceptions by clogging the middle, and guys come up with interceptions.
Now, there's something to this, and league catches on, guys. Guys come out looking incredible. Carson Wentz was almost an MVP candidate, and I know he got hurt, but the league adjusts. This actually happened to the Philadelphia Eagles after they made their first Super Bowl. Shane Steichen goes away. Their whole offense was primary read, lightning quick. Jalen Hurts is as decisive as anyone we've seen with the football. And then the league caught on in one offseason. And they had to totally reshape their offense after they lost to the Tampa Bay Bucks last season, which was a really incredible job by Kellen Moore. But this stuff happens, and the transcendent talents, they rise above. They adjust to the adjustments. And it seems as though Mike McDaniel and Tua are out of answers when it comes to the league's answer to them.
That's my biggest issue with McDaniel. It was a conversation last year, week-to-week basis. Why isn't he making adjustments? I don't know about that stuff. I'm not in the room with them. But I do know he had 8 months between the end of last season and the start of this one to have us not have that same conversation after week 1. And we're having the same conversation. That, to me, is a major problem.
The conversation we're having that we weren't having before is so much of it's all over. It's all over. It's all over. No perspective, no anything. They can't block again. They're going to get destroyed up front. They've been figured out. And that kind of thing after week 1 in my lifetime, whatever city it's happening in, has always been an overreaction. It's never not an overreaction. After week 1, if everyone is howling, get everyone out of here, that is, in the history of the sport, always been an overreaction in week 1, and it doesn't feel like an overreaction after the way that game was played. It's not losing 30-0. Like, you're down 30-0, and that's not happening to anyone else in the league. And you're like, ugh, 30-0. Like, all the other games are close. 30-0? You can't stop them at all, and it feels worse than this team has felt since when? Tell me since when it's felt this kind of – we've got to start over again.
The end of Brian Flores, where you didn't know if you had a quarterback, it felt pretty helpless. But one thing that I've kind of read from the fan base is there was all sorts of narratives about this team and the culture stuff, and it feels like the Dolphins fans really tried their best to practice patience. Give it time. Tua's got to be healthy. This is a hugely important year for us to evaluate, and nobody wanted to go out there with really toxic takes.
I mean, a few days ago, it was the healthiest Tua is going to be all season.
Right. And everybody was just, all right, we're in this together. Start of the season, fresh start. Let's go get them. We kept the faith. And then they give you that effort, as unprepared as any team has ever looked.
And
really
we're talking
in week 1.
about learning lessons. After week 1, that was the mantra. We're going to look at the film and learn a lesson. Learn lessons.
We were approaching critical mass, and I think after that performance and how listless they looked and how undisciplined and how unprepared that they looked, everybody is finally ready to let out that emotion.
When he says, and you're at a loss for words, we're going to learn from this. What can be learned from this? Don't be silly. What can be learned from this? I will tell you one thing that should be learned from this that not enough people are talking about. Tua better not get hit that much all season. Like, that better not happen all season where your offensive line can't even protect him when he's got the fastest release in the league from being – you need to protect him, and I think it's a stupid thing to learn, but they better have learned it in week 1 because without him, it looks worse than that. Believe it or not, that's the worst game he's played.
You just reminded me of the best thing that happened in that Dolphins game. The one time where I was like, that's good. It was a blindside sack.
And he got right back up.
And he didn't fumble.
You're right.
That was just like, I looked around, everyone else was
That was the best play in the game.
I was like, Tua. He held the ball there.
Best play,
and he got up.
That was the best play the Dolphins had in the entire game.
I was like, yes.
Put it on the poll. Was the best Dolphins play that Tua got blindsided and did not fumble.
I mean, he got annihilated on that play.
It was like you had 5 seconds to be like, oh, my God.
Right. The season was over in that moment, but he got back up. It's like, that was an awesome play.
The season's over just a little bit later now.
Yeah, he had a positive.
You know, you keep saying it's an overreaction after week 1. And while technically you're right, Dan, It is week 1, but that's not where the reaction from Dolphin fan is coming from. It's very clearly a continuation from last year, so it's not a small sample size, and it's not an overreaction to 1 week.
The thing is, though, when you guys say, think about where the expectations are on this team, because I do think it's not only funny but accurate to say that the best play in that Dolphin game was the one that Chris is mentioning. Do you know how low the expectations have to be? When I'm satisfied that it's a sack and he's not hurt and everyone gets up and hooray, because what I was expecting on the other side of the extreme was not merely him being concussed or the ball flowing off toward the sideline. I thought his head and his helmet was going to come off. He was hit so cleanly without any awareness of what was happening behind him. I was expecting his entire head to roll off the field. So I'm like, all right.
That's a good play.
Career ending, I was expecting.
How about when Daniel Jones got hit by Matthew Judon? And I was thinking, if Tua got hit like that, oof, that was bad. The thing is, where's the cavalry coming for this team? Right? Like, what piece of this team, offensive, defensive, can you say, okay, this is the part that's going to weather the storm and get them to a place that they can fight for a wild card spot, maybe fight for the division if the Bills... Nothing. They've got nothing. Zero.
You can hope that Josh Allen gets hurt, and I still think they're a favorite this weekend against the Patriots. Are they still a 1.5-point favorite against the Patriots? And
that's where you are. That's in the class that the Miami Dolphins occupy. A team that was a bad team last year. Oh, if our young quarterback finds his rhythm. They got more hope than you got because they at least have a younger quarterback. They have a fresh regime in there. They have a proof of concept with a head coach that has gone in the playoffs against Tom Brady in his last game in a Patriots uniform and won on the road. They got way more hope. You got Mike McDaniel, and the whole thing about Mike McDaniel is like, how's this going to work? This whole general vibe going to work when we face real adversity?
And I got to tell you, I'm at the point now, I hate to do this and be this guy, all right? But I can't help it. I'm at the point now with Mike McDaniel where the stuff that I thought was really fun with him and his personality the first couple years, I really don't like anymore. Like when you got the pants rolled up to the knees and you got the shiny, neon sneakers and you got the big watch, it's like
meandering answers. Just answer a question.
It's like this is not cute anymore. And again, I hate being that guy, but I don't like it anymore.
Okay, well, when you say you hate being that guy, imagine my conundrum as I hate being the guy I'm about to be right now, and I've been this guy laundering Tyreek Hill for a while as part of like, oh, that's so fast, and it changes everything, and Dolphins haven't had hope in 25 years, and look, here comes speed, and hooray, hooray, 70 points, and the most exciting the Dolphins have been in the last 25 years, this entire century, in a sport where everyone's close, and they make sure that if you're this kind of bad, you get rewarded. So the Lions can go from what they've been to what they are now, where you're like, the Lions lost to the Packers.
Yeah, a good 35-year plan that the Lions executed.
Their window closed.
Yeah.
But I have to say this about Tyreek Hill because it came out again yesterday, and he was simmering on the sideline. Have a few more games like that and see where it is the Tyreek Hill experience.
Ticking time bomb.
Oh, my God, he's going to embarrass everybody here so much if there are 3 more games that look like that. But I need to tell you, because I was talking about this, Hard Knocks did some laundering for him too, and when his story was told on television, it was happy marriage stuff, and what a nice love story at home. TMZ released yesterday that his ex has alleged multiple domestic violence allegations in a new court filing yesterday. She says there are at least 8 instances, including one where he shoved her to the floor, stood over her, and then ripped off her necklace and ripped parts of her hair out, causing cuts and bruises. He also allegedly spat on her. And we kind of knew this was what it was coming in, because it had a bunch of incidents that if those are public, what about all the other ones we don't know about because someone's afraid of you? And that relationship was volatilely and in public in ways that, his house caught fire, and that's not even his fault, but just a calamity of stuff spilling into the streets that also includes this person has always been a danger to women and children. He was that with the Chiefs, he was that before the Chiefs, and he's that in Miami. And so if we're going to talk about him this much, let's take some culpability on all the hope he created around here. This was a deal with the devil, man. They sold their soul for 18 months of speed.
Yeah, you should have said all that on the front end because it was all true. And now the second that he's not performing, it just feels awful convenient.
Correct. It sounds like, look, I'm sorry. I've apologized for this already. I'm just saying every time I talk about Tyreek Hill, I don't know the right amount to bring this up every time without running off the people who are going to tell me I'm woke and always talking about that is off the field. And, you guys say I ruin football all the time for you with whatever it is that I do in my moralizing. This one has been a deal with the devil throughout. We've known it, though.
Yeah, you're getting buy-in from the audience right now because he's not good for them anymore. So that's usually how it works in sports.
That's how sports work, man. Like, I'm guilty of that, too. I'm laughing my ass off after every 60-yard touchdown reception the first couple years. And now it's like, yeah, you're an embarrassment to the team that I like. I wish you weren't here anymore. And, like, I'm guilty of that because I'm a dopey sports fan.
But I guess it also plays into kind of loosely to what we were talking about, the Mike McDaniel thing. Like, this is all working. Tyreek Hill can be a good vibes guy. If vibes are good, he's getting the ball and he's producing. But when this team faces adversity, who is the leader? Who is the unquestioned leader of this team that can turn the ship around? And you look to the head coach and all the things that were cool about him and eccentric about him when things were cool and this guy's a breath of fresh air. How does that work when you feel like your franchise is at an important crossroads here? And this is the kind of narrative that surrounds him on cable television.
We'll get back to Rex Ryan in a second because this is the space the Dolphins find themselves today, and it's a space no other team in the league is. Not the Saints, not even the Giants in a tabloid city, even though they've got their own problem with Russell Wilson. This team played a game so putrid, so outclassed by a league that was playing professional football while this team was not playing professional football, that the stink of it is such that with all the great football that was played over the last few days, it's still lingering that the laughing stock in the league is, the team that you're laughing at in the entire league is this one. Because everyone's looking at it and saying, oh, that's all doomed. He's going to be the first coach fired. He's in over his head. And everyone's reveling in, what happened, boy wonder? What happened? You had the offense that put up 70 and you changed your look and you all of a sudden had Miami style. And
telling Dan Marino to his face, Dan, we're coming for all your records. Said that to Marino.
The league is laughing at the demise of arrogance. This happened. The first time I learned it is when Charlie Weiss came to Notre Dame and said, I have a significant coaching, scheming advantage. And all the other coaches were like, you do you? Or you had Tom Brady. You do you?
I mean, look what's happening to Bill Belichick. But here's a quote from Mike McDaniel, since we don't have the video. McGenius guy or whatever the hell he is. Nerd boy. Their team has no respect for their coach, and they play like that. They're soft. Every part of this football team.
That would have been good audio to have.
Explosive, I told you.
Rex Ryan's chattering
Too hot for TV.
Yeah, he's laughing. Rex Ryan, look.
McGenius or whatever. Nerd boy.
This is a victory for everyone who's against analytics. Like when Rex Ryan, you know what football's about? It's about snacks, kid. It's about the things in my gut and loving a woman's feet. I know what good football is, and it's not what you think it is, nerd boy. It's Mark Sanchez, and I'm going to beat you 12-10 in the dirt.
This league is so silly. It really is.
Look, I'm listening to ESPN radio on the way in this morning, and each guest that Unsportsmanlike had on had to be asked about how pathetic the Dolphins are. Like that's.
Do you realize how crazy it is that that's the story?
Yep.
There was a lot of good football played this weekend, but the misery of this is so delicious because it's not just some boring coach. It's not even like a Dick Duran or somebody going or an Eberflus flaming out in incompetence. You're watching a comeuppance that the league is enjoying because it seemed like for 18 months when they had Tyreek Hill's speed, Mike McDaniel's figured out a way to win without offensive linemen. All their running backs are going to be good and score 18 touchdowns. They don't even need to block anybody. McDaniel's going to out-scheme everybody.
There are a couple of teams that come around where the entire nation just enjoys reveling in their misfortune. It's perpetually the Dallas Cowboys. But there was that Philadelphia Eagles team that won the offseason with Nnamdi Asomugha,
Oh, that's
the
right.
dream team where everybody
Vince Young was the backup.
Yeah, and the Browns with Baker and Odell.
Super team.
And Jarvis Landry, where it doesn't line up with all the other bad teams.
That's a good one.
No one's having fun at Carolina's expense. The expectation is Carolina's going to be bad and they look bad. Whatever. That doesn't move the needle. But these guys who thought they were good, the nerve. This coach who thought he was smarter than everybody else. This whole blueprint that was hanging on by a tether because it's built around a quarterback who can't stay healthy.
Who's always been super polarizing.
Super. They're enjoying this one. And I don't blame them.
It's interesting, too, to know that everyone laughing at the Dolphins right now is laughing at the only 3 people on the Dolphins they care about. There's 3 of them, and they're polarizing. The 3 of them are polarizing. And the 4th Dolphin nationally, you'll have, maybe somebody will name Waddle, but this is their holy trinity of what it is that's going up in flames. And all 3 of them, Tyreek Hill was not allowed to talk in Kansas City in front of microphones. They gave him a team over here because he was fast. Mike McDaniel rode that to, I'm a little bit smarter than Rex Ryan's chattering teeth on television. Oh, my God, is Rex Ryan going to enjoy my demise? And then the most polarizing of all of them, think about what I'm saying here. The most polarizing of all of them was the guy at quarterback that we couldn't figure out. Is he good because he's good, or is he not good? Is he good because he's got boy wonder McGenius nerd boy?
Do you know how long Chris Greer has been around?
25 years.
That's close to accurate.
Now ask how many playoff wins since he's been with the organization.
0. Chris Greer has been around for 9 years and 8 months. It's the longest tenured NFL GM ever without a playoff win.
Ever.
You don't get to keep that job for a decade without a playoff win.
Longest tenured GM in history.
Zaslow has burned it all down, and what I don't understand is I don't see anyone but Cody out here saying, Greg Cody, not his son. His son is out on the Dolphins. We're announcing to the nation in a way that has to feel like overreaction. Please tell me that after week 1 it's an overreaction to say everyone saw on Sunday that the Dolphins season and the architecture of it is over.
Look, they should beat the New England Patriots, and that'll be the best penicillin. But this is absolutely a Waterloo game for Mike McDaniel.
Another must-win?
Forget must-win.
No, but just for the fan base.
This is Waterloo right now. Like, they're going to be boots to asses if they lose this game to the New England Patriots.
True or false, there are big-time boo birds in the first half of this game.
Oh, they better get a couple first downs.
1,000% true.
They better.
You guys
get a
are
couple first
begging
downs.
here. You can't go.
The Boo Birds.
You can't go from must-win to Waterloo to the Boo Birds in week 2. You guys are begging here.
But it's not. To Zaz's great point, this isn't about a 1-week sample.
It's not 1 week.
No, it's about fans going to the absolute ends of their patience with a blueprint that was flawed, and on top of that, has an unlikable character damn near at the center of it. And they're over the shit.
I can talk about Dolphins for 4 hours. I will not, because there are a couple of other things locally that I wanted to get to, including, finally, after an extraordinary week for spitting. I don't think spitting has ever had a bigger week.
That was a Hawk Tua thing. That was huge.
But that's one person instead
point
of
by Tony.
had a great point instantaneously. Wonder where he got it from. Thinking about it all the time.
There's a bit of a spit off here, Dan.
We've got 4 spitting incidents. The first of them was buried by UM Notre Dame. So locally, it didn't seem like a lot of people were paying attention to Luis Suarez. Again, I will tell you, Roberto Alomar is the best second baseman I have ever seen, a Hall of Famer. I only think of him when I hear his name as he spit on an umpire. Was it Steve Palermo? Was it Steve Palermo? I think I remember the umpire's name just because this was such a galling thing to see televised. A man so disrespectful that he was spit in another man's face. And it's happened 4 times in 10 days. Luis Suarez did it to someone who works in Seattle during a Leagues Cup final. Then after that, you have Dak Prescott spitting at the feet of Carter. Jalen Carter, and Carter then spitting on his chest. Then you got the Gator game. And I don't know who the player was that cost them the game against South Florida for a spitting incident. Where are we with this, with Inter Miami? Because you're out on them as a team, but they finally got around to a penalty.
It's amazing. No, but it wasn't them that got around to a penalty. MLS got around to Inter Miami hasn't penalized anybody.
League's Cup initially penalized, and it was a heavy punishment for Luis Suarez.
No, it was not.
You could say with a fair amount of conviction that Luis Suarez will never play in the League's Cup again.
Right.
And that's going to sting.
Right.
Sergio Busquets also got League's Cup. We don't know if Sergio Busquets is going to play ever again in the League's Cup either, because who knows how much longer in his career he has. So
you're banned. You might retire. You're banned. You might sign with another team in another league.
Now, I understand.
Sergio Busquets, by the way, threw punches in that scrum, and MLS is not disciplining.
That's right. MLS came down and tacked on what League's Cup did, because League's Cup is a joint venture between Apple, Liga MX, and MLS.
But Inter Miami hasn't done anything. They're so gutless, Inter Miami.
Luis Suarez put out a statement and apology like 4 days after the fact, which was just total BS. But here's the suspensions from MLS. Luis Suarez got 3 games. 3 games. And Busquets, 0 additional
Nothing.
punishment.
Threw punches.
Yeah. And this is really in the weeds for MLS fans, but it was great to see Steven Lenhart mixing it up on the Seattle sideline. He's got his credential revoked. Steven Lenhart is one of the craziest MLS players of all time, but that's just a nice little nugget for MLS fans. But yeah, so only 3 games now all the casuals fans are like, you have to win MLS Cup. So this does affect their chances in that Luis Suarez still scores goals for them, and he's going to miss 3 MLS games.
I can't root for Inter Miami right now. I'm not into it.
Because it's football season. Everybody's over it.
Plays a small role.
Zaslow, I feel like you're a bit of a fraud here.
Why?
Because I believe you're just going with the flow and taking easy positions and coming very comfortably to places you don't actually care about this team very much, and now you're out on them because they're behaving poorly.
Inter Miami? I'm an inaugural season ticket holder. How dare you? I spent my hard-earned money. How dare you? How dare you? Saying I'm a fraud. Do you have season tickets for Inter Miami?
Were you a Founders Club member? That is a founding supporter.
Season ticket holder.
They got too pricey?
You're saying that I'm incorrect.
It's a little much now.
When I accuse you of conveniently being out, and not just because football season started, but because you don't actually care that much anymore. Not because you don't like the team.
Right.
You stopped caring about them before them, and then you don't like the team.
Yeah, it kind of coincided the massive hike in ticket price to me not caring as much. That played a part. But what do you mean I'm taking the easy stance? Are people taking the stance that they're good with spitting? Should that be in the stance that I took?
No, you're taking the morally outraged stance of I'm out on this team, they're unlikable, I don't like how they represent me, at the convenient time, the same way I just did it to Tyreek Hill.
Well, to be fair, though, a couple weeks before that, right here, sitting in this chair, I told you that I'm thinking of being out on Inter Miami. Remember? Because they're shady as hell.
No, but it happened over the course of the show. You were thinking about it, and then 14 minutes later, you were out because we were talking about it. You don't care that much. It's not like the decision.
I had a good think.
Mike made a moral decision to be out on the Browns because Deshaun Watson was offensive to him. You should be offended as an Inter Miami person.
Inaugural season ticket
How
holder.
they gouged prices as soon as everything got good over there and priced everyone out in Miami.
That has a lot to do with how vocal the fan base is. You have 2 really angry fan bases right now at their teams. Dolphin fans and Inter Miami. And Inter Miami fans feel ostracized for the same reasons that Zaslow indicated over there, which is they've been priced out. This is not about the people that – it is a haul to get up to that stadium.
Yep.
It's like 10 minutes from Boca.
No, and traffic because we're overcrowded. It's 2 hours to get there from Miami. If you want to get there from Miami at the time of the game, it's going to take you 2 hours.
It is an absolute commitment to support this team, and they're doing very little outside of getting the – now, this is not a small thing. They got the greatest player ever. Yeah, that's something. That's pretty awesome. Forever when they talk about
checking the good column.
His career, there's going to be that weird stretch where he was wearing pink, and that's really cool for us.
Would it kill him to talk every once in a while?
I mean,
or once.
I think he hates it. I think he hates it.
He does hate it. He does. I mean, how bored is he of interviews?
The Messi thing kind of hangs over the discipline, and certainly Inter Miami's reaction to it because Luis Suarez is Messi's boy. But let's put the attention on Luis Suarez, who's damn near 40. And he's had 2 biting incidents, one on a really grand stage
He's
at the
4
World
or
Cup.
40?
He's teething like he's 4. He's 40. This guy's like almost 40 years old.
It's a crazy thing to say about a human being of any kind. Never mind a famous athlete. He's got multiple biting.
Like I'm talking to a kindergarten teacher.
Look, like at least
He's so
Busquets.
upset he's
At
teething.
least Busquets he's throwing hands. Yeah. What are we doing? Like, this is what we're doing? This is how we're solving the conflicts? We're biting and we're spitting?
Have we tried timeout?
I'm convinced that this is a theory I've had for years. When Zinedine Zidane headbutted somebody and got into it, I'm like, yeah, of course these guys even fight knowing that they can't use their hands. I'm not gonna use my hands. I can never use my hands. I'm gonna bite you and I'm gonna headbutt you.
Yeah, but the Zidane thing was pretty damn cool. I mean,
Well, biting's not cool.
no, biting is not cool at all.
Biting. No one thinks biting is cool.
Biting is not
Put
cool.
it on the
Spitting
poll
is not cool.
at Le Batard Show. Does anyone think biting is cool?
Headbutting is fine.
Headbutting's cool.
Rather cool. Like, do you understand what it is? Do you understand the balls it takes to use your own head as a weapon? Like, I don't care about this collateral damage. I'm gonna. That really hurt.
I told you, one of the most impressive things I've ever seen in my life is a very patient friend of mine who is good at mixed martial arts, was driving behind somebody who was doing wheelies on a bike and stuff and purposely slowing him down as he tried to get around him. Very patient, very patient, very patient. Finally, the guy throws down his bike and comes at my friend, who just gets out of his car and headbutts him and leaves him in the street.
That's wild.
No words?
What
No
a
words,
story.
nothing. Just
Boss
left
on site.
crumpled in the street and didn't want to do it. Like, was just trying. It wasn't mad about it.
He's not patient.
I mean, didn't want to do it.
That is not a patient man.
Someone like that
Always wants to do
They're
it.
secretly waiting for that opportunity.
Oh, this guy's going to do that? Perfect. Let me go slow.
Been
Just
waiting
make
for
sure to
this.
come. So he comes over here, so I hit him with one of these.
He's been percolating, perhaps for decades.
Yeah.
He's been internalizing for. That wasn't even about that guy. That was probably about his dad.
I think he gestures it every day in the mirror before he leaves his house. Like,
Is today the day?
I got it wrong on the umpire. It was John Hirschbeck. It was not Steve Palermo. And Brendan Bett is the name of the spitting Gator. I want to get to the Gators in a second. But are these calls any better, Chris Cody? The telephone number, come on, people. 305-486-GOTS, 305-486-4689. The creative community around this show has always been the best one there is in sports media. You guys have stunk at the phone calls. Do better. Boost Mobile deserves better. Support the people who support us.
the Boost Mobile Boldest Take is presented by Boost Mobile, the newest 5G network in the country.
Have you ever felt more lost than you have walking into a grocery store you don't shop in to do a full shop?
Le Batard, stop trying to be a therapist.
What up, this is Cincinnati Lou. When you spent the Saturday at the bar, bring home dessert for your wife. Promise you it'll make everything better.
Daniel, the super fan, you're from Philadelphia. Is it better to be a pioneer or near a pie?
The Phillies' dad doesn't play catch with his son. Look at the way you wouldn't give up the baseball if you actually played catch with your son. Look at that kid's glove. It looks like my dad's softball outfield glove. That's just crazy.
Yeah, this is Cap Yakima. What if Tommy John's name was actually like Eugene Ramirez? How different would we be to get the surgery? Eugene Ramirez surgery.
And also, I meant to mention, Mike Francesa's teeth are not his teeth. That's not a hot take. That's a fact, Jack.
Hey, this is Lou. I take it back. If you drink too much, the bar, dessert's not going to help.
They answered the bell.
Would you rather be a pioneer or nearby?
This episode of the Dan Le Batard Show at Stugotz is presented by DraftKings. DraftKings, the crown is yours.
He's not wrong that if Clayton Kershaw had Eugenio Ramirez surgery, it would be different than Tommy John surgery. So, good point. 305-486-GOTS is the telephone number if you want to get in on calls in 2025. Calls.
That was good shit right there, dude. Don't apologize for it. Don't. I hear the little shame in your voice. You challenged them. They brought it there. Pioneer or near a pie?
Dianna Russini is going to be here for all of your football needs in a second. But I just want to pause the show for a second. I didn't do this in the local hour, and I should have, because Ray Hudson is an international legend. He's a national legend, and he's a local legend. I mean, he started soccer down here with the Fort Lauderdale Strikers and has been one of the most entertaining personalities anywhere in sports broadcast worldwide for, I'm going to say 30 years, because maybe before that. And I just want to introduce you here with some sound from Ray Hudson so that you hear him calling a Messi goal, and all of his calls were poetry. And I can't believe that he's retiring, because he's a voice for literally 50 years.
This is courtesy BN Sports.
Again, the medicine man arrives and sinks his flaming spear into the hearts of Real Madrid. Messi, born in the crossfire hurricane, and he is jumping Jack Flash. The defenders are left with bees flying around him. Messi, you could drop a tarantula into his shorts and he'll still be cool.
I doubt that.
Put it on the poll at Le Batard Show. If you dropped a tarantula down Messi's shorts, would he still be cool? You should hear Chris Whittingham, the way he talks about what his face does when he's next to Ray Hudson and he hears something like that break out. And the child in him is mesmerized because he can't believe he's standing next to Ray Hudson.
Yeah, grew up with Ray Hudson as not just the voice of soccer for what felt like a niche sport in this country for so long, and as the tide rose, his calls became more and more profound. My favorite color commentator in soccer, easily. You mentioned the Fort Lauderdale Strikers, also an impressive run with the Miami Fusion. And not only should you hear Chris Whittingham talk about what Ray Hudson does when he's making those calls, but you should hear Ray Hudson talk about Chris Whittingham when he was on an episode of Goalless, and how he credits Chris Whittingham for giving us this little run. We got to hear Ray Hudson call Champions League soccer.
It's been so cool. I cannot tell you how happy I am for Whittingham, because he's climbing around in his dreams, and he's helping. He just helped Ray Hudson have his Lee Corso moments at the end of his career, because he was genuflecting before someone he knew to be a broadcasting legend. I actually wondered about this the other day when we were talking about Tony and the idea of getting into radio, and what a bad idea I thought it was to get into radio. And I wondered to myself if we can even build radio stars like that anymore. Can you even have a future Ray Hudson today? Is there somebody today that 50 years from now, they're going to retire and you're going to be like, that's one of the best voices to ever call games? Can it even happen anymore? Or does that end with Vin Scully and that era of broadcaster?
No, I think it happens, but I don't think you have people that come out the gates with this type of energy. Here's another guy, Kevin Harlan. He had to grow that character over time, because when you get into play-by-play, they tell you to kind of zap that stuff out of your personality. Can you imagine if Ray Hudson burst on the scene talking this way? Somebody would tell him, hey, cool it with that. Stop making it about you. You kind of have to buy some credibility with the audience over time. But I do think, look, he's a little bit more polarizing, but I think Gus Johnson will kind of feel a similar way for some folks, especially those that I think the best sport he did was college basketball and feel a certain way. Kevin Harlan, as I mentioned before. But it's hard. It's hard for new guys. And Chris Whittingham is one of those new guys. And it was really, really cool to have Ray say such incredible things about Whitty's ability to call soccer. That's a very difficult job that Whitty has, and it's made easier when you have a partner like that. Same, I'm sure Phil Shane thinks the world of Ray Hudson. Ray Hudson and Lee Corso in a matter of weeks is tough.
Dianna Russini is becoming a legend in this business. She's the senior NFL insider for The Athletic. She's the host of the Scoop City podcast, and her football information is second to none. She is wildly informed. She spent a lot of time at Vikings camp. We'll get to that story in a second, and football. But I need an update on your son's obsession with eggs. A little weird child is growing in your home who loves eggs and is putting them all over the house. Have you found any rotting, and what is happening here with this young boy and his egg obsession?
Yes, first of all, thank you to all the viewers and listeners of the show who have reached out with their theories as to why my 2-year-old has an obsession with just holding eggs around the home. He does not eat them. I think we have to make that clear. He just likes to hold them and walk around the house morning and night. we've been trying to talk to him about it a little bit more because my thought is something's up, right? This has been going on for I think about 2 months now. It was the summer when it started, and he won't really answer me because he's 2. So this morning I was actually putting him in his car seat, and he was looking over my shoulder, and he said, "Mom, egg in the tree." And I didn't really have time to stop because I had to get him off to daycare to get back to work. And I actually just thought he was making it up. And so I dropped him off and I came home and I pulled in the driveway and I'm like, you know what? Let me just go look at the tree. What was he talking about? And there was an egg in the tree. So he was right. So now he just has this obsession. He sees them. He wants to hold them. Again,
he didn't put it there, right? A bird had laid an egg.
It was a bird laid an egg, and he spotted. And by the way, it was tiny. I don't even know how this little boy saw it, but he was right. So he's got some superpower. I don't know what this means for us in terms of what Joey will turn into one day.
Probably nothing.
It's not a great superpower. Like
Diana, I'm sorry that Dan asked you if your kid put the egg inside the tree, knowing he's 2 years old and had to climb this.
Yeah, well, this
tree.
is the way Diana describes her life. I do envision this child as a bit of a spider monkey. He puts things in the microwave like the cell phone. I think this child can climb around the house. Look,
So,
the way I'm imagining her life is she's picking up the phone and someone's yelling about Vrabel, and there's a child climbing on her head.
yeah, that's close. I had to take them for shots the other day, and my husband can't believe I did it. But I knew Joey was going to be scared because his brother was going to get the shots first. So I brought an egg. And so Joey held an egg while he got his shots, and he didn't break it. He just held it while he had the 3 shots.
A comfort egg?
It's his comfort egg. It's so bizarre.
It's an emotional support egg.
The thing is, it's not like he just has one. Like even today, at school with show and tell, bring in your stuffy, and Joey doesn't have one. So I'm like, do I just send him with an egg? It's just there's I have no understanding of this. But yes, we have found more eggs. We found an egg in the back of one of their little trailer trucks. And they also have like a Lightning McQueen little car.
No
that
smells yet. No smells of rotting eggs have been in the house yet. Okay,
we're in good shape. And one of the listeners messaged me that I need to be careful for ants and bugs. So I'm on high alert here.
Okay,
so add another thing to my plate. You know.
Yes, football is crazy this first week, and we haven't talked at all about last night's game that just seemed to me like the Bears would win that, and I'm still not used to first-time starters at quarterback winning football games, looking competent, and it just league-wide, none of these guys throw interceptions. Like, I'm just used to somewhere there's going to be a Zach Wilson who goes out there and throws 5 interceptions.
But he did throw the interception.
Well, he did. I was going to say, he was terrible. JJ was terrible.
The takes were flying, Diana, and then in the fourth quarter in which they scored 21 points, just totally made some tweets age poorly immediately. What was your takeaway? That was super impressive.
Yeah, it shifted quick, right? Like, did you see all the people backing it up? Like, oopsie, like went a little too hard there. And I had my own fun with the Minnesota Vikings fan base anyways, because we had reported a lot in the offseason that there were conversations about possibly bringing in Aaron Rodgers, and fans didn't want to hear it because JJ's the guy. And I spent a lot of time with the Vikings this summer. And look, Kevin O'Connell is sharp. He's obviously a great teacher. He has a true understanding of the position. But he was preaching patience too. Like JJ McCarthy's never played in an NFL game, and he's coming off an injury. So what he did last night was just absolutely spectacular, and just credit to his moxie. And I just think what he did last night changes the direction of this entire team, because they can say what they want about what they thought of JJ McCarthy before the game, right? Because you heard, how many quotes did you see coming out of Minnesota? If you didn't see him, I'll tell you. It was like he was the chosen one. And it almost felt over the top at times. And guess what? You win a game like last night, and he lives up to all of it. And that changes the dynamic of that locker room and just the way we view this Vikings team, which is a team that is built to win a Super Bowl.
Diana, how close were the Vikings to, instead of going with McCarthy, to either paying Darnold or actually bringing in Rodgers?
Yeah, so going back to free agency when they had to make that decision, it wasn't easy from what I gather. Like they had serious talks because remember they had Daniel Jones there too, right? So Daniel Jones, he wanted to be the starter. He didn't want to have to come in there and compete. And the Vikings were like, hey, we're going to sign you. Come back here, compete against JJ. And if you win the job, you're the starter. Daniel's like, nah, I can just go somewhere else, make more money, and pretty much have a better shot of winning, right? Because for Daniel Jones's perspective, competing against the draft pick, the top choice, is going to be a tougher challenge, especially when they want JJ McCarthy to work. Whereas the Anthony Richardson experiment had already kind of been out. And obviously Daniel Jones seemed to have made the right decision, as did the Colts. As for Sam Darnold, there were definitely tons of discussions. What do you do? He was fantastic in the regular season.
This is what I want to ask you, Diana, and I want to speed her up in a second with the music, but I want to ask one more Vikings question because you're saying here they're built to win a Super Bowl. I do not believe they are built to win a Super Bowl. I believe that what Sam Darnold did with them last year was a bit of a mirage that then got exposed in the playoffs when Sam Darnold became Sam Darnold. Are you expecting J.J. McCarthy to be better this year than Sam Darnold was last year? Because I'm not. I'm not assuming that J.J. McCarthy in his first year can be better than Sam Darnold. So I don't think the Vikings are any kind of Super Bowl chance.
No, I agree with you. I do think there has to be a bit of a patience. At least the fan base needs to be patient here. But when you see what he was able to handle last night in Chicago in the fourth quarter and bouncing back from a pick six, bouncing back from the turnovers and really just a poor performance for 3 quarters and rally his team to win, a guy that just doesn't lose. I don't want to overreact. It's week 1. I get it. But for an organization that put all their chips in, Kevin O'Connell, Kwesi, the ownership, everyone said he's the guy. This gamble seems to be working out based on just this one game. And look at the way Kevin O'Connell can coach. It doesn't really even matter at this point who the quarterback is. He's able to figure out how to run an offense through his quarterback, even if it's a little simple. Because that was some of the criticism here was that, oh my goodness, unleash this kid. Like he's got the training wheels on. Well, training wheels came off.
All right, so hold on a second. How many people, Diana, in the league would you assign that trait, which I would believe to be the greatest of all the traits I could ever give a coach? It doesn't matter who his quarterback is. Like, how many people are we giving that to? Shanahan and him? Like, how many others?
Andy Reid.
What? It doesn't matter who.
I mean, I understand he has the greatest quarterback, arguably, of all time. He also did it with Alex Smith and got more out of Alex Smith.
And McNabb too.
And when McNabb would go out, he would do it with Ty Detmer, Coy Detmer, Doug Peterson. Like, it didn't matter.
Chad Henne win a playoff game.
Like, yeah.
Again, though, if we're assigning value to coaches at every turn, I don't believe I can give any team or its fan base a greater coach trait than it doesn't matter who his quarterback is.
Diana can speak to how highly people think of Kevin O'Connell.
Kevin O'Connell?
Yeah.
I think there are multiple organizations, if they could start from scratch and pick a coach right now in football, Kevin O'Connell is a top 2 choice.
Dan, I get where you're thinking in not really counting them as a Super Bowl contender, but they won 14 games and they did it with Sam Darnold. Your main problem with them was Sam Darnold. They got Sam Darnold out of the equation. Now, I know what's at play here because I thought Michigan won a national title effectively hiding J.J. McCarthy. And for 3 quarters...
Getting a lot of those tweets in the first half
And for 3 quarters, while I wasn't putting it out there on Twitter, I was like, man, this dude sucks. That is a bad pick 6. And what he did in that fourth quarter shut me the hell up.
Yeah.
I'm in.
And I think it just adds to what this has been. The storyline all offseason was, can he really do it? Kevin O'Connell seems to think this is the guy. And despite the fact that he's had so much success with so many other quarterbacks in the past, I don't know. I think there was some doubt. Like, is he really the right guy? Is this ownership forcing Kevin O'Connell to run with J.J. McCarthy because they traded up to get him? And he knew something. And I think they've got at least something to work with here. Dan, I'm with you. Do I think that J.J. McCarthy in one performance means that the Minnesota Vikings, we should anoint them as the Super Bowl champs? No. but I think he showed enough that they can work with this. Have success at
I understand. I understand what you guys are saying. I'm just saying my history of viewing the quarterback position, generally speaking, this person can't come in and replace Sam Darnold and over the course of a season be better than Sam Darnold. Like, just the history of how it is this sport works. And so
why Jaden Daniels went to the NFC Championship last year.
I know, but this is I have not gotten used to guy gets there immediately and can be someone who's actually better than what Sam Darnold was last year. I still am not at a point where I expect rookie quarterback. Like, that's a great expectation. I know it's still Sam Darnold, but the numbers Sam Darnold put up last year were worthy of winning 14 games.
Understood, but also what we're doing here, calling him a rookie quarterback. Remember, he was in that system for a full year. He didn't play last year, so he did get valuable experience. He's not working at it from the same level of experience your typical rookie would have.
Correct. They really, like, when I was with them at camp, it was as basic as it can be in terms of how they were managing him because he's a rookie, right? He did not play much. He's never obviously played in an NFL game. You know what I was thinking about though, like over the weekend, because we saw Aaron Rodgers look good. Sam Darnold looked good. Daniel Jones looked fantastic. He was the best quarterback in football
MVP.
over the weekend. I think that added to the excitement of Monday night for what JJ McCarthy could do, because look, all three of their options looked like they were playing well. So the fact that they were able to also come out of this as winners, I just think it's just great momentum for the team.
Forgive my interruption. I just need to speed all of this up because we've got so much to get to.
I know.
And she just casually said that Daniel Jones was better than Aaron Rodgers over the weekend.
Somebody told you a couple months ago, Daniel
7
Jones.
possessions, 7 touchdowns. So it was like ridiculous.
No, it wasn't 7 touchdowns.
Oh,
yeah,
they scored.
It wasn't 7 touchdowns, nor was it as many points as Aaron Rodgers put up.
But by the way, how have we not already built in a segment of like rotten eggs? Like, we should be doing every Tuesday the rotten egg segment, and we just pick out the worst football.
Aaron Rodgers scored one more point than him.
That's right.
One.
It's Daniel Jones we're talking about, by the way. Why are you acting like you're not impressed by this?
I mean, Dan's such a jilted lover. He's just begging for Aaron Rodgers to give him a reason to come back.
It was one more point than them on a 60-yard field goal, and it was one more point than Daniel Jones scored.
They took their gas.
Put it on the poll. Who was better Sunday, Daniel Jones or Aaron Rodgers?
You want Aaron Rodgers back so bad.
He was back. There's no disputing that he was back.
You want to be back in his loving embrace.
Wait a minute. No, I do not. No, I most certainly do not.
Over here enjoying us. We're having a time of our lives. Aaron, that's incredible. My vice president.
You got to admit that it's funny to see the 4-time MVP swallowed by Jet sewage look like that in his first game returning to the Jets in Pittsburgh, giving them hope on offense. So, first question, Dianna Russini, was it real?
Aaron Rodgers or week 1?
Aaron Rodgers, is that what he's going to be? Is that what he's going to be this season?
Yes, I heard he had a great camp, that he looked like he was 30 years old. That was from someone that was around him all summer.
Explain what we just saw then. How is Aaron Rodgers looking like that there when he looked like that there?
He's healthier, and he's got a better surrounding cast at this point. And maybe there's something about coaching. I know no one wants to talk about it, but maybe the coaching setup for Aaron Rodgers wasn't spectacular.
The Giants quarterback situation.
I think it will be Russell Wilson starting against the Dallas Cowboys, but I don't think the leash is very long. They love Jackson Dart. I think his personality matches up perfectly with Brian Daboll. They believe in him. I just think they're waiting for the right moment here, knowing that their schedule is brutal. It's just a matter of when at this point.
20 extra seconds on Micah Parsons' fallout that you didn't report before.
He wanted the Philadelphia Eagles and the Green Bay Packers, and this wasn't something that he started to think about just a week before the trade happened. This had been going on for months. Apparently, they knew it was over way before we did. They were just going about their business, waiting for this thing to come together. You had asked me to go find some teams that were willing to trade with the Dallas Cowboys with better draft compensation, and it was the Philadelphia Eagles. They had a lot more on the table, but of course, Jerry Jones did not want to make that deal, obviously trading to the enemy.
Dianna, is Jared Goff done without Ben Johnson, Sean McVay, or Matt LaFleur?
No, even spending some time in the summer, I heard the Detroit offense was definitely going through a little bit of transition, but they were fast. And that John Morton, the new offensive coordinator there, is a veteran. Like, he's been around the league forever. And there's just a little bit of an adjustment period. They definitely took a step back. There's no doubt. Like, the Detroit Lions did not look like the same team that we saw last year with those two coordinators. But I'm not panicked about it yet.
Dianna, have you reported exactly how much more the Eagles were willing to offer than the Packers for Parsons?
I did not report the exact amount, but it was more than the Green Bay Packers.
Wouldn't it have to be like double what the Packers were offering for Jerry to send him to Philly?
Oh, I don't know if there's a package that Jerry would have agreed to, like, unless it was like every player on the Philadelphia Eagles.
You know, but what is that exactly? Given that the Packers, I know they're not in the division, but the Packers are, while not quite as much of a rival, you still traded it to a team that can beat you.
Dan, you know how many teams told me that? Like, why would you trade to the NFC? You know, and from what I can gather too, just from calling around, no one from the AFC really gave a big offer.
But wait, so, what are we doing with the division there, Dianna? What are we, like the Packers are the team they can't get past in the playoffs. It's not the Eagles.
The documentary showed it. Like, that's the irony of all this, right? Like, it was in front of our faces. Jerry put the show together, and you saw how many times the Green Bay Packers stood in the way of the Dallas Cowboys taking that next step, and then they trade their best player, and their best player is flourishing. The Green Bay Packers look unstoppable.
Dianna, the other quarterback that played last night, he flashed some impressive pocket movement, but then towards that second half, he was missing high. Maybe like Cam Ward, putting a little too much on those passes. What was the takeaway from Caleb Williams' performance?
Yeah, I think this is still growing pains. This is like another organization where all you hear is people say, just give them some patience. We all want everyone to come out. And Dan, kind of how we started the segment, right? Like, everyone expects these young quarterbacks to come out and just stink. And Caleb had some good stuff. He's better than what he looked like last year. So I'm all in on the Chicago Bears fixing this.
Dianna, the Bills won or the Ravens choked?
The Ravens choked. That wasn't even those two weren't even in the same weight class. The Ravens were so much better than the Buffalo Bills, and they just weren't able to come up with it at the end, right? Their defense let them down. They weren't able to come up with any turnovers, and Josh Allen finds ways to win. So to me, this is just the Ravens. They got to sort out how they can win these big games, because to me, when it's the defense, that's the problem in Baltimore. That's bad, because that's what you think of with this Baltimore Ravens team. You think defense, right? Historically.
I'm going to see if I can trap her, though, here. The best team in football this weekend was blank. The
Philadelphia Eagles.
If I'd asked you that question with 4 minutes left in the Bills-Ravens game, what would your answer have been?
Ooh, probably the Ravens.
Okay, because they are.
Yeah, I think so, too.
Because the last 4 minutes of that game are not, like, that's not a thing. That's not something.
It is a thing for them, Dan. It's a thing for them way more than it's a thing for anybody else. And you have to start baking that into your analysis, because they've shown you at a much higher clip that they do that. How often are the Ravens going to keep doing this?
They also
losing games that they shouldn't be losing.
They build leads better than most, so they have more leads.
Because they're
they got to win the game.
Because they're the best team.
Yeah, they're super loaded. Super. The excuses are out. There are no more excuses for this team. They have to do it, Dianna.
Since 2021, there are 9 different times where they had a 90% chance of winning the game, and they lost all of them. To just support your case there, Mike. Like, they have to figure out how to get over that hump. What is it, right? Like, is that attitude? Is it effort? Is it leadership, right? Like, who's the Ray Lewis on this Baltimore Ravens defense? Who's the guy making sure that these guys are going to finish these games? I don't know that answer. I don't. And I think that's something we're to discover this year.
They should count their lucky stars for what's happening in Buffalo, because everyone's just looking at Buffalo. Hey, you guys can't get past the Chiefs. The narrative here is, what the hell are the Ravens doing? The Ravens are the most offensively loaded team in that entire conference. And they're not getting past Buffalo, who can't get past Kansas City.
Chris, why is it that you're laughing at him thanking lucky stars?
Count your lucky stars.
They are. The guy's a multiple-time MVP. Lamar Jackson's skating here. He's got to do it the same way Josh Allen's got to do it.
But why are there lucky stars?
Why am I
being
counting
thanked?
them?
Why are there?
Patrick Mahomes is making people crazy.
Patrick Mahomes, since Tyreek Hill left, only one quarterback in the sport averages fewer yards per attempt down the field. It's Daniel Jones. Is the Patrick Mahomes down the field thing done with the Chiefs? Like, they're not a team that can win 17 straight one-score games again.
Yeah, I'm not as panicked. Look, they're dealing with some issues there on offense, trying to find a rhythm. But again, this is like another team where they always come out of the gate like this. They're the rotten eggs in September, and then they find their momentum. So look, I'm not freaking out yet on the Kansas City Chiefs, but
what are you freaking out about? You keep saying you're not freaking out. What are you freaking out about?
I
Dolphins.
Because I'm an adult.
The
that's been
Dolphins.
doing this a
The
long
Dolphins.
time.
The Dolphins.
And it's week 1, and the Miami Dolphins.
I'm an adult.
I told you they were my rotten egg pick for the year a couple weeks ago, and they were exactly what I expected to see, which was horrible. And I don't know how this gets better, right? This isn't a team that was bad, and I think that's where a lot of people are forgetting. You know, they led the league in completion percentage last year. What happened? This is a high-powered offense. Yes, credit to the Colts defense and Lou Anarumo and everything that they did to confuse Tua, because he looked confused. But they forced him, for the second read, and that appeared to be the key for them. How are they not prepared for that in Miami?
Many?
Then obviously, go ahead.
Dianna, how many teams are worse than the Dolphins right now?
Faster.
2. The Panthers.
Faster. Faster.
Saints.
Faster. Faster.
I don't know. Actually, I'm taking that back.
Faster.
I'd say it's close. I say it's the Dolphins and the Panthers right now.
The 49ers, more injuries.
Oh, man, they can't catch a break. Brock Purdy, he's dealing with turf toe right now, a shoulder situation. The turf toe is a bigger deal. We've seen the past quarterbacks shoot it up before. I'm not sure what they're going to do, but there's probably a chance he's going to miss the game. George Kittle is going to be out for multiple weeks. He's got a hamstring issue. Juwan Jennings is dealing with the shoulder situation, but he's expected to be okay. It's just bad vibes again. I mean, every year.
Chargers, best team in the AFC West?
We ran out of music right when Tony was going to ask his question. It needs the support of the music.
I was going to go fast, too. I was going to rattle off like 6 or 7.
All right, let's do this. Fast. Let's
Chargers,
go.
Dianna.
Wait, how much? We've been doing this like very fast this whole time.
Faster.
But here's the funny part. I have to go fast, but you guys go slow.
All right, well, speed it up. Tony, speed it up.
I was trying
Tony,
to Chargers,
let's go.
best team in the
Let's go. All of
Chargers,
us. Let's
best team in the AFC West.
Yes. Yes.
Are the Jags back?
Yes.
Yes, thank you. Atlanta.
what?
Michael Penix, interesting.
Yes. Very interesting. Can't wait to see what that's going to be.
Emeka Egbuka, superstar.
Yes.
Kelsey put a hit on Xavier Worthy.
No.
Okay, fair. Are you tired of Kyler Murray?
No. He
stinks.
has a
Guy
cool shorts.
Stinks.
Wait, why are you
He's
saying
the
that?
worst.
Why?
I'm so tired of watching him play, by the way.
It's only a playoff
I'm so
team.
tired
How
of
you
him.
stop?
He runs around, doesn't know who to throw to,
How do you
never
get
throws the
tired of
right ball.
that?
I hate
Never throws a right
about?
ball.
I don't like him.
Rather have him than Tua.
His stomach hurt before the game, and he was
He
sick.
had diarrhea.
Stomach hurt, please.
Dude, have you ever done anything in your life with diarrhea? It's not fun. Have you? Do
Tony?
you come to work when you have diarrhea?
I do.
And how does that go?
I do great. I stand in the pocket and I look exactly where I'm going to throw, and I throw the ball and I deliver it.
Tony,
He has diarrhea right now.
Thank you.
Do you think it's selfish to show up to work with diarrhea? Because I'm sure your colleagues don't like it that you have diarrhea.
It's not contagious.
I mean, he's not pooping all
And
over
it's
the
not
floor.
contagious, but it's not pleasant to be around someone, especially if you have to use the bathroom after them.
Kyler Murray stinks.
I'm sorry to do this, Tony, to you.
Don't, Dan. Don't do that.
Yeah, it's really for the Kelsey question.
I have a penalty I'm trying to hit here that doesn't seem to be working.
Just take your time.
It's the verbal diarrhea penalty. It's not working.
You told me to go fast.
No, I do want you to go fast, but when you say things like that, okay, when you say that one of
Daniel
the most
Jones MVP?
one of the most electric players to watch in the league at quarterback.
Please. The jig is up with him,
How's
okay?
he still-
He runs around the back of the backfield. Where am I going to go? Over here, over there. Let me run for 6 yards and put the ball out. Please, man, I'm tired of it.
Do you not have to serve a penalty if the imaging doesn't work?
No, I don't think so. I don't have to leave.
I don't know why it's not working.
Wild Tony Tuesdays. Here it is.
No, we're not doing Wild Tony. Oh,
Woo!
dear God.
All right.
That one's working?
Diana, let's talk about the Jags again. Liam Cohen really changing things over there, huh?
Yeah, come on. When was the last time you saw the Jags that happy? Like something as basic as that. Like just watching them celebrate their touchdowns. I just think they have a plan. They know what they want to be. And Liam Cohen's obviously getting more out of Trevor Lawrence than we've seen in the last 2-3 seasons. So stock is up on them.
Diana, why does Bill Belichick think he's banned from the Patriots facility?
I think this is all high school. I think they obviously have hurt feelings. I think the Patriots have had their feelings about Bill. Bill's had his feelings about the Patriots. But I think what makes this a little difficult for Bill is I don't think Bill has any problem with the new regime of people, right? Like he obviously likes his former player, the head coach, and he likes the GM. I don't know if he likes the GM, but he's fine with that. And this is like Robert and Jonathan Kraft versus Bill Belichick. And so the fact that Bill is not allowing the New England Patriots scouts to scout UNC, I know you could probably make an argument who were they going to scout anyway, but look, it's all petty. I don't know why.
Feels high schooly.
Oh, but go the next step on this, though. Excuse me, Diana, for interrupting you yet again. It's been an affliction I've had this particular segment. When I'm watching Woody Johnson with the Jets, and everyone now knows, the kids are running the place, and I'm watching Jerry Jones in Dallas, and the kids are running the place. When Belichick says, and he never says stuff like this, I'm just glad to be out from under. No, there's no owner here. There's no owner's son. Like, what the hell's going on in your league where the owner's son keeps thinking that the team is his plaything?
They work hard.
Well, first of all, Woody Johnson's kids are 19 and 21, right? So I think that's different when you don't have a lot of life experience and professional experience and you're allowed to weigh in and make decisions for football. Like, yeah, that's bizarre. Jonathan Kraft is a grown adult. What's wrong with having your son, who's part of the ownership group, weigh in? Well, I mean, what makes Robert Kraft a good owner? It's like he's just allowing his son to be part of it. I don't see a problem with that.
Oh, no, you don't have to, but Belichick clearly has one because it's the first time I've ever heard him say anything interesting about the dynamic. When he's talking in North Carolina, let's play some of the sound here for Diana. Let's start with Belichick and what it is that he was alleging about his ban from the Patriots facility.
Yeah, well, no, it's clear that I'm not welcome there around their facility, and so they're not welcome in ours. Pretty simple.
So that's not true, though, because he went to Tom Brady's Hall of Fame event. And no one there has ever said, like someone from Belichick's camp said to me that a Patriots staffer was wearing a UNC t-shirt in the weight room and somebody from the Patriots said you can't wear North Carolina gear. Like they're just caught up in this petty stuff, which is not true because Drake May went to North Carolina and he wears the gear. Like there's no... The drama is being built up by Belichick, I think, at this point. And look, it's obvious that it's almost like he needs them more than the Patriots need Bill at this point. And because
Vrabel kind of spoke to this, and he kind of just seems just over it. He kind of is like rolling his eyes, and he's
rolling his eyes because his team is not good, right? Like Mike Vrabel doesn't care about Bill Belichick right now. He cares about trying to put out a team that looks improved because they didn't on Sunday. It didn't look any different than it did with Jerod Mayo. And there was so much hype about this Patriots team being good. And it just didn't look that great, especially in the second half. So, just knowing him well, I don't think he has patience or time for any of this. And I don't think the New England Patriots even really care as an organization at this point.
From the Belichick side, I just don't understand how this is okay. And I know Diana said, obviously, what anyone could say, which is, why would anyone want to scout UNC players at this point? But the reality of it is, for kids who want to go pro on UNC, there's only 32 of those jobs in the world. And he's deciding to check one of those boxes off. We're not going to allow these kids to have an opportunity with one of those 32 teams. And that's bullshit to me.
Well, let's hear Vrabel talking about what bullshit it is that Belichick's not allowed at the facility.
Again, nothing surprises me. I would imagine that Bill, he came back for, the best of my knowledge, Tom's ceremony, so that I guess he's welcome back based on the fact that he was there. So I'll just go by that. Since his departure as the head coach here, he's been back, and I'll leave it at that.
How much does Mike Vrabel hate this?
He's like, my evidence is that he was there.
Yeah, he hates.
I
these
rest my
questions.
case.
Yeah, he doesn't want to deal with these questions.
Yeah, I don't think I don't think he doesn't. He obviously wants his scouts to be able to go to the places that he probably wants them to be, but I just think when you're the new head coach, returning to a place where you had so much success and there's all this pressure for you to turn a team around, and then you lay an egg against the Raiders. Imagine coming in Monday morning and that's what they want to talk to you about. Probably not fun.
Dianna, it is nice seeing you. I remind everybody she's got a hip podcast, Scoop City, and she is the senior NFL insider for The Athletic. Thank you for joining us. Always nice to see you. We will talk to you again next week. The thing that I wanted to say, though, about what Vrabel did there, because I mean, you were in Tennessee, you mixed and matched, and you showed us you're a good coach by that one time that you outclocked Belichick at the end of a game, and we saw you, like, waste 6 minutes on Belichick. And Vrabel is, that's a bad loss that got swallowed under all the other games this weekend. The Patriots losing at home to a Raiders offense that's going to be improved. But Vrabel staring straight ahead, dead-eyed with the choices he's made at life, hoping that Drake May works out, and just saying straight to your face, nothing surprises me. That's exactly what you want your coach to say. You want him to look you in the face and lie to you and just say, there will be no surprises. I'm incapable of being surprised. It does not surprise me that Bill Belichick, who used to be my coach and leader, is dating a 20-year-old who's running his life, evidently. I'm not surprised because
again, nothing surprises me.
Look, he's bored. Look how
again, nothing surprises me.
Again, nothing. You guys know this about me. I'm incapable of being surprised.
Again, nothing surprises
Not surprised
me.
that I lost 20-10 in my home opener. Not surprised.
Again,
nothing surprises me. Nothing.
Walked into my own birthday party.
Again, nothing surprises me.
This is crazy. We ran into Iowa quarterback. What's the deal? God, he's so full of in Ames, Iowa for El Assico, the Cy-Hawk game. Look at me now, so happy, full of joy. I feel like this isn't going to be me at the end. I don't have a good feeling about this one. The official name for the game is Cy-Hawk. However, they call it El Assico. It's usually an ass football game.
Iowa is El Ass at football. I hate them every day.
This is Iowa's Super Bowl right here.
I mean, this is our Super Bowl. This rivalry is huge.
It's like Christmas in Iowa. Yesterday was like the 3rd of July. Today is the 4th of July.
Are you a Le Batard Show fan or just a Lucy fan?
I'm a Lucy fan, but Le Batard's good too.
Literally, there's only one thing to say, the Hogs.
You don't need to say that. You know there are children around here. Your shirt is rude, first and foremost. What is the science behind a bird having teeth? So a tradition here in Iowa is Casey's breakfast pizza, which is exactly what it sounds like. It's pizza, but breakfast. This is well done. This is really good.
Love Casey's. Hate Iowa State.
So a lot of people think that we are going to lose this game, but I have faith in our Hawkeyes that we're going to whoop some ass. I just almost choked on my pizza. We're going to win this game.
How do you guys make your friendship work today?
It's been a little difficult, I have to say. Alcohol.
Win or lose, we booze.
This trip to the Cy-Hawk game was brought to you by Fox One. We live for live, streaming right now. Is Gronowski bad?
Pass. He had a rough start last game, I'd say, but I think he'll pull it together.
He was bad, though. All right, how would you guys describe the Iowa offense?
Well, we say defense wins games.
They planned that.
Defense wins championships. It's all that matters.
The Hawks got a great run game.
Shut up. No, I like that answer. You shut up. That was a good one. I don't like the reactions we're getting today.
It's kind of been hard to watch, but we can get back.
You've been doing it without offense for so long. Like, why start now?
Correct. Poverty offense, they might make it like 22 yards, and then they're done. They're just gassed.
Learning how to get up and take a piss for the offensive side instead of just commercials has kind of been a weird thing to get used to.
All right, can you say something nice about Iowa State? And can you say something nice about Iowa State?
Bridge is okay.
It's a nice bridge. How would you describe this Iowa State rivalry?
It's just like there's a little so it's like pulling on your pant leg and you just want to smack them. Because they want to be you. It's like, just leave me alone.
How did you get your tickets for today's game?
I use this app called Game Time. Super easy, super fast, and also super cheap.
Do you use code Lucy?
I didn't.
Don't be like her. Use code Lucy. Download the Game Time app. Use code Lucy for $20 off your first order. Terms apply. Go away. Get this camera out of my face. Okay, Iowa lost. Yeah, turns out they're kind of bad at offense. I don't know who could have seen that one coming. Maybe in the future we could send me to less Iowa games. I think that would be cool. I think that would be awesome. I think that would be super rock and roll. No comments on the rest of the stuff. I am so sorry. The Iowa State band is so annoying. We get it. You want. I'm not even mad about that. I'm sure they're lovely kids. Zip it! Why do you need so many tubas? You don't need that. Nobody needs that many tubas. Oh, God. I gotta get out of here. For realsies.
Excellent use of generic music there. Welcome back to one of my favorite sports media personalities, Iowa, as I like to call her. I'm sorry this is delayed, but...
Minor penalty, 2 minutes for verbal diarrhea.
You're going out, right?
So, Tony, no, you've got to leave. Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray is not exciting. I'm done with exciting Kyler Murray.
Kyler Murray, okay. You lack vision, Dan. That's the issue. You lack vision with quarterback. You're mad that I have it. You're kicking me out because I have vision. That's okay.
I don't understand being the guy that's like Daniel Jones, yes. Trevor Lawrence, yes. Brock Purdy, yes. Kyler Murray, no.
Now you get it.
All right, get out of here. Put it on the poll at Le Batard Show. Do you love breakfast pizza? And
you like Davis Mills, too.
I like them.
Out of here.
You did like Davis
Get
Mills.
out of here. You were a Davis Mills guy.
You said,
out of here.
Look, I heard you in the other room say Rattler made a couple of throws. Listen to me, Tony. Listen to me good. Goff! Your quarterback analysis stinks. Stinks, and it stunk since you got here. And somebody has to say it. Lucy, thank you for being on with us. I believe that the field goal kick by McAfee before a game for thousands of dollars is the best sports invention I have seen in a long time for sports television. Can you guys give me some nominees? Because that wasn't even the best kick this weekend. But as an idea, giving people tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of dollars if they can make a field goal is an excellent sports television idea. And I want you guys to give me some other recent inventions that are as good as this one. Zads, tell me and tell Lucy what it is that happened in this Missouri game.
Oh, my God. I mean, Lucy, you saw this, right? So Missouri, Kansas. I don't know if you know this, Dan. Missouri, Kansas, that's border war, all right? It goes back to the Civil War. That's how serious they take this, all right? And you had a Missouri fan, who was able to line up and kick a field goal from like 30 yards out or something. If he makes it, he gets $25,000. You know what this kid does? He turns in the direction of the KU sideline. He kicks the football at them. He says, I don't need your money, Lucy. And he kicks the football at the KU sideline. Lucy, that's border war.
So first, I want to specify not a kid. He's a grown man with children. He is like a full adult. He was offered this the night before, wasn't going to this game, so rearranged his whole plans. He also has a prosthetic leg. So he was like, I know that I'm not going to be able to make this field goal. screw this $25,000. I hate Kansas so much. I want to kick the ball at
Border
them.
war.
Terrible kick, though. It barely made it
well,
over to the sideline.
Well, then it was a good move because he definitely wasn't going to make that 45-yarder. So it was like, okay, I might as well make a statement.
You guys are kind of skipping over the idea that the guy who won this contest has a prosthetic leg. I mean, that's got to be a disqualifier, doesn't it? Give it to somebody who doesn't have a prosthetic leg.
I don't think it's his kicking leg.
Well, wait a minute.
Seem to be his right leg.
You guys are going to tell me that the left leg that he kicked at that bench, that's his kicking leg?
The holder seems to be holding it like he's a righty kicker. So I think that...
No, but maybe the holder was tipped off that he's going to kick it at the sideline.
But the laces are out towards the field goal, not towards the sideline.
So he pulls up his shirt, and it just says FKU on jiggly pink flab of
Border war.
Not that jiggly. Moderate jiggly.
It is the border war. That is funny.
If that's jiggly, everything's jiggly.
If that's jiggly, Dan needs a mirror.
That's my sport. I love it.
The invention better than McAfee's field goal for $300,000, which was
throwing footballs into a Dr. Pepper thing.
Yes, but only with weird motions.
Yes.
Also the freeze race.
Like a chest pass in basketball.
And one weekend, I missed the mascot head. That was so good.
Lucy, I was telling Mike all of last year that Oklahoma State of Mike Gundy was an apocalyptic disaster of a football team that I just couldn't believe how bad they were. And they're worse this year. Explain to me that guy can't keep his job much longer, can he?
No, I mean, he's already resorted to paying the school back. So he gave money back last year to, put into Oklahoma State's NIL fund or their athletic fund, whatever. I think Mike Gundy just really doesn't care anymore because Dan Lanning is notably petty, where you saw that a few years ago when it Dion in Colorado was this really, really big sensation, and Dan went out and gave this big speech or whatever. And then Oregon beat the crap out of Colorado. Mike Gundy decided to start his press conference off this week by all over Oregon being I can't believe they'd spend that much money on players, which is kind of crazy to say. Then he lifted his shirt up weirdly. It was unrelated, but he did lift his shirt up during the presser, which we still are kind of confused by. And so obviously Dan Lanning's I heard the comments, I took it seriously. And then we saw that they won by 60 plus points, and it could have been worse. It very much could have been worse. It's going to be a long year. Oklahoma State did lose their quarterback, so I'll give them a little benefit of the doubt there, but they were going to be terrible anyways. I don't see him keeping his job, and I honestly don't see him taking another job after this. It's very bad times in Stillwater.
I will forever remember him not for any game that he has won. This is a rare thing, right? This guy's been coaching for 15 years, and I still remember, maybe longer. All I remember is that he was when he was 40 years old because of the viral clip, "I'm a man, I'm 40."
Now he's a man, he's 58.
It's 18 years ago.
About that speech, it's a great speech, but I think people forget my favorite part. He's talking about this paper. So I've got this article here who was brought to me by a mother.
It's garbage.
No, he said a mother of children. Yeah. That's what that means.
It is what it means. The weekend's big events, I thought, were limited to, you tell me if I have this wrong, Oklahoma and Florida. Those were the college football big events of the weekend, no matter who else was playing. Let's start with Oklahoma. What were your thoughts about them having a better team than they've had the last 3 or 4 years when their defense has been good but their offense has been terrible?
Yeah, I mean, I thought John Mateer lived up to what he was advertised as. Obviously, he can be a little crazy sometimes, but that was a good offense. My concern with Oklahoma is Jay Nott's not healthy. And Jay Nott was really fun when he's at Cal, but I'm nervous that offense is going to be one-dimensional. But the Ben Arbuckle hire, bringing John Mateer over with him, I feel like Oklahoma is in such a great spot right now, except for at this moment, I believe every single one of Oklahoma's remaining SEC opponents is ranked. So they have a unbelievably brutal schedule, but to go up against that Michigan defense the way they did and pretty much control that game, I thought was really impressive. And I think Red River just got a whole lot more interesting because Texas, Arch Manning obviously looked much, much better this weekend against a very inferior opponent. But I think the SEC is a lot more open than we previously thought. And you can almost take Florida out of that equation if you want to because, wow, not fun, tough.
I want to talk about Billy Napier and how much trouble that he's in, but can we for a moment, and maybe I have this wrong, I don't know, it's only been 2 weeks, but can South Florida be good? Is South Florida allowed to be good? Billy Napier lost at home, but it seemed to me that a defense that I was watching in South Florida had an awful lot of athletes on it.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, South Florida's defense that first game against Boise State forced a ton of turnovers. That's a very good football team. And I'm going to say I'm disappointed that College Game Day isn't going to Miami, South Florida this week. I think that's a great football game. Is this the greatest, most important football game ever played on the CW? We're going to find out. I do think Miami's much better than South Florida, but, like, that is a very, very good football team, so I don't want to take anything away from them. But, like, when I look at that game, South Florida stuck in it. They did everything they needed to do. Billy Napier also did everything he could to make sure that Florida lost that football game. They were completely undisciplined, over 100 yards of penalty. Clock management that I still don't really understand. He's calling plays and he shouldn't be calling plays. Like, he is clearly, like, just doesn't have a grasp on this. And I can't bank on what happened last season happening this year where, like, okay, things turn around because, like, DJ Lagway was just, like, sort of like a gift from the gods last year, and I think he's still dealing with injury issues. I didn't think he looked that great against USF. So I have a feeling that Billy Napier probably is going to make it through the season just because it is an insanely difficult schedule. They have LSU next and then Miami after that.
Zaslow says no.
I don't know,
Lucy. Zaslow's shaking his head no at you.
Lucy, I don't know. I mean, Florida's at LSU this weekend, then at Miami, then hosting Texas. If they're sitting at 1-4, Napier's not getting to that Texas A&M game.
My only reason why I push back on that is because they had the exact same opportunity to do this last year, where they were also last year, the boosters had come together early in the season and said, we have the money raised. We're prepared to pay his buyout right now. And they didn't do it. And I think it depends on really how DJ Lagway plays, because I felt like that's what saved Napier's job is, like, we really wanted to keep DJ here. Like, we really feel like he is the future of this team. If he plays well, even if Florida loses, I think they'll keep him throughout the season. And I also think it's like, hey, do we have the guy we want? Cough, cough, Lane Kiffin.
I mean, look, speaking of Florida, they're in LSU this weekend. Is it possible LSU's not as good as we thought? I mean, Clemson struggled a little bit against Troy.
Yeah, so LSU also didn't, like, blow out their group of 5 opponent this weekend. I think LSU is very good, and I think what I feel good about LSU with is that even though, yes, Clemson did struggle against Troy, I want to put for the, like, quick asides for Clemson and Georgia, those rain delays do mess things up, and that happened in both of those games. I'm a little more nervous about Clemson than I am Georgia right now, but, like, LSU's defense was so good in that game, and that has been the issue with LSU the last few years, and so I've seen them make the improvements there, and as long as you have Garrett Nussmeier, you're going to be in every possible game. So I do think LSU is very, very good, and I think Florida, like, I still foresee them winning some games this season. Like, I don't think it's a lost cause, even though the most winnable game on their schedule is Mississippi State, who actually looks pretty decent this weekend. So things are a little up in the air, but I just don't see them firing Billy Napier right now if they didn't do that last year.
Is this year that the college football playoff lives up to the hope and expectation that it feels pretty wide open here, Lucy? It feels like we're going to get some real good games come January. I don't see a team yet that has set itself apart. Part of that is because Texas played Ohio State, and it's hard to gauge what that game will mean in the grand scheme of things. But there aren't a lot of elite teams. This is anybody's year, it feels.
No, it 100% feels like that because you still feel like, obviously, Ohio State, you know, huge win this weekend, like 70-plus points on the board. You have to feel pretty good about that. It feels so wide open because the SEC feels so wide open, where, like, you really don't have Alabama. You're like, I don't even know if you're a good football team. Georgia, you have questions about their offensive line. Like, there's Florida, you don't know what's going on there. It's such a, like, it's really exciting because, like, you open up the door for so many contenders, and especially to be at week 3 and already feel like, okay, we have a really good group of 5 candidate for this playoff already. It's really, really exciting. I think they're going to be it's going to be a perfect playoff.
We're going to let you go on this note, but because we were talking about Mike Gundy, it's worth reliving. It's less than a minute, and it is the signature move of an 18-year career. He never got better than he was right here with the flowing feathered hair, talking about that mama who has children.
If you want to go after an athlete, one of my athletes, you go after one that doesn't do the right things. You don't downgrade him because he does everything right and may not play as well on Saturday, and you let us make that decision. That's why I don't read the newspaper, because it's garbage, and the editor that let it come out is garbage. Attacking an amateur athlete for doing everything right. And then you want to write articles about guys that don't do things right and downgrading the ones that do make plays. Are you kidding me? Where are we at in society today? Come after me. I'm a man. I'm 40.
Excellent lip sync you did there. I didn't realize.
I know most of the words.
Lucy, you've got the whole thing memorized.
It's really good.
Not the whole thing, only like bits and pieces, but I do have a good chunk of it memorized.
Yeah.
I got really bored one day, so I just learned the whole thing.
Dude, do you know we need more dogs?
Do you have any kind of rant that you imagine as being better than Mike Gundy's rant in the history of college football rants? Because for one to endure for 18 years, Mike's got it right. That coach at, is it Charleston Southern?
Yeah, we just came up on the anniversary. He ran for Congress, I think. Cats in the house. Cats in the house.
We'll get that
Do I
sound.
look good?
We're not going to do better. Is that one better if we put them off? If we paired them? If we went? Yes, Tony.
We need more dogs.
So wait a minute. You're saying right in front of me. You're alleging that the Charleston Southern coach's rant is better than Mike Gundy's rant.
Yeah, because Carolina. Put some respect on it.
Yeah, Coastal. But the thing is, Gundy's rant is great at the last second, right? Like it's I'm a man, I'm 40, come after me. When we have the totality of the Coastal Carolina coach, we're talking about dogs and cats inside the house. That's great.
All right, we'll see when Chris Cody can get that for us with impeccable comedic
We need more
timing
dogs.
so that we can actually play that for you. Certainly.
Mike Leach has some good ones, too. Weddings, Pretty Little Girlfriends.
No, but Mike Leach has some. Those are wandering strolls through Crazy Land. Like that's. I know what that is. We loved calling him on his bike in Key West and getting them. Like we did that in the pandemic a bunch. So I know what that is. But that's not Mike Gundy and Coastal Carolina famous, because who's bronze medalist on this list? We're talking about 20 years of coaches melting down in press conferences. Let's get the Coastal Carolina coach and pit him here against Mike Gundy.
12 cats live across the road. Our door's open. The screen's broke. So you can come in through the screen, but you can't get back out of it. I turn and look, there's a little kitty cat in our kitchen. So I said, what are you doing in here, little kitty cat? By that time, the cat turns, tries to get back out. That screen won't go that way. Cat starts going, meow, all crazy. So I told our players, I tried to let it out the front door. Meow, meow, the cat's still going crazy in there. And I told our players, you need to be more like a dog. We don't need a bunch of cats in here looking in the mirror. Do I look good? I got my extra bands on. I got my other shoes on. Be a dog. We don't need no meows. We don't need no cats. We need more dogs.
He's cheating with his accent.
Societal point, too, though. Like, don't worry about the mirror. Don't worry about extra bands. Don't worry about all this stuff that you have on. Go play football. Be a dog.
You think he made more of a societal point than old OAN Gundy there who hates the media?
Be a dog.
Can I do a quick Gundy tidbit? That was Justin Bieber's ringtone for a while, was the I'm a Man, I'm 40.
What?
Yeah. Crazy.
What? His ringtone?
I'm a man.
It was.
I'm 40.
He was doing some radio interview and like his phone rang and they were like, what is that?
Put it on the poll at Le Batard Show. Does it make sense to you that Justin Bieber's ringtone was once Mike Gundy's I'm a 40 rant?
Be a dog.
Put them against each other. Pair them against each other. That's a hell of a tournament. You know what I wouldn't mind doing? All-time leadership meltdowns.
Brian Kelly pounding the desk after the season opening loss last year is pretty good.
The thing is, you can't see the shade of red he is on the sound, right? You can hear the pounding of the desk. You can hear him talking, but you can't see the shade.
He's always
of
that nuclear
red.
shade of I've been on the yacht too long red.
I have one from Pro Sports.
4 picks against Grossman and 2 fumbles. What do you see about the Bears? Would shut them down that way?
No, we just the Bears are what we thought they were. What we thought they were. We played them in preseason. Who the hell takes a third game in a preseason like it's bull? We played them in the third game. Everybody played 3 quarters. The Bears are who we thought they were. That's why we took the damn field. Now, if you want to crown them, then crown their ass. But they are who we thought they were. And we let them off the hook.
Last night, the Bears are who we thought they were.
Yep.
They've been that way for a minute. I was hoping for exactly that football game from Caleb Williams. Like, you can see the growth. You can see the help. I have some confusion, right, about how to do this when it comes to quarterback measurements. As, for example, let's make it Jared Goff. He's had 5 offensive coordinators in his career. And when it's not Sean McVay or Ben Johnson, he's 0-19-1. He is not necessarily a system quarterback, but there's something happening there that makes him look, Jared Goff, like only Peyton Manning and Tom Brady, and being able to win 13 games in 2 different places when none of us would select Jared Goff as our quarterback of our football team.
He's made it to a Super Bowl. He's been a really good quarterback for that franchise. I think that they're allowed a week.
Also, it's not – we're not talking about Brock Purdy here. He was the number 1 overall pick, Jared Goff. Like, he was expected coming into the league to be a very skilled player.
At California, he was one of the best quarterbacks I've seen in college. Like, he was viewed as it was Josh Rosen-ish.
Right. His record wasn't very good, but like people projected, and he came up and got off to a bad start with Jeff Fisher, and then his career was reshaped. I think, if anything, you've laid out the argument that he's coachable. And then he can prove if the coaching around him improves. I think Detroit deserves at least some grace.
Yeah, maybe Green Bay is as good as everyone is saying they are.
There was one talking point from last night's game that we didn't hit, and maybe it's overanalyzing, but Ben Johnson's decision to not kick the onside kick and outsmart himself by playing the odds because there were 2 minutes and 2 seconds
played himself?
left. He absolutely played himself. So the way that his mind was working was like, the odds are higher that my kicker can kick the ball out of bounds and I can save this 2-minute warning than it is for me to recover the onside kick. Now, in a vacuum, I get that, but that's not what we're playing. We're trying to ultimately get the ball back. And baked into the whole concept of getting an onside kick is the chance you get the friggin' ball back.
Worst decision, that or Harbaugh punting it away at the end of the game?
Dude, I think he outsmarted himself. This was really bad.
He played himself?
I think he played himself.
Again, he played himself?
He played himself because also you could stop the team if they recover the onside kick like they did. I don't understand what Ben Johnson was doing there. That game.
Maybe it's a bust.
The last 2 NFL football games that we have seen have been just really confusing. Because the Bears were in total control of that football game, not unlike the Ravens were in total control of that football game. The Ravens admittedly did it more spectacularly, but after that pick 6, this one's over. J.J. McCarthy hasn't shown you anything. That was as surprise a result, even more surprising than the Buffalo one, because I did not know J.J. McCarthy was capable of doing that.
Have you guys considered this? Because it is something I think about as I see Patrick Mahomes shrivel into, I'm going to throw the ball not downfield at all. And I see just in general throughout that league, a lot of teams are trying to win with their quarterback going 12 for 18 for 160 yards. And I want to just ask you if it's possible when you see some of these great things at the end of games, that there's so many restrictions and rigidities in how careful everybody's being about protect the football. Do not throw interceptions, the thing that's going to cost games when we're all trying to slice up all these small, small margins that always have us saying that coaching decision cost that game at the end of the game as if nothing happened before it. That one thing is the reason I lost the game. Is it possible at all that these guys are so militaristic in their disciplines about the rigidities and don't turn the ball over that Josh Allen being a thoroughbred at the end of the game, just running all over the field, is when he's let loose on, I don't have to worry anymore about don't be reckless with the football and throw it out here in the flat. I got to beat Baltimore now. I'm the best person on the field as an athlete. Watch this. And now I'm loose and I don't have to worry about all this bullshit anymore about everyone in the league wants to be Aaron Rodgers throwing 4 interceptions a year at quarterback.
I do think that there's an evolution, especially with a player like that, which is that you got to ride that horse. But also on your Mahomes take, I think you got to cool it on that. He had the 9th best yards per attempt in the league. His deep threat got injured on the very first play. Rashee Rice is suspended. He did take deep shots to Hollywood Brown, which is a mixed bag. I think if Xavier Worthy is reportedly he's going to tough out this injury and play with a shoulder brace, like he's got to have the weapons, the downfield threats to do it.
Fair enough.
He doesn't have the full complete
Mike,
arsenal.
You're saying I've got to lay off of Patrick Mahomes. I'm not the ringer saying are the Chiefs cooked. I'm simply saying this is a stat that's a fact. He's 39-11 since Tyreek Hill left, but also yards per attempt down the field. Only Daniel Jones throws it less far. It's 6.5 yards a pass.
I understand, but they reshaped the offense over the course of this offseason, and a big part of that was the ascension of Xavier Worthy, who's really fast, who came on late, who reshaped their offense as they made that run to the Super Bowl. I think it's pretty important that Xavier Worthy got hurt that early.
He's also a prisoner of his own design, right? Like before Patrick Mahomes was throwing the ball over the place, they were like, all right, let's just set 2 safeties back, and he's not going to be able to take the top off the defense. And at that point, that's when kind of the entire NFL changed. You don't see these massive throwing games and years anymore because of the fact that they're just sitting 2 high safeties, and it's like, all right, you're going to go throw deep? Perfect, here we are.
When the Chiefs fall to 0-2 this weekend, because they will, they're playing Philadelphia. When the Chiefs fall to 0-2 this weekend.
Game?
Well, I mean, no, everybody knows I do big game, not big game on Saturday. I'll show 2.0 on Friday, so don't ask me that right now. I got time to think still. If the Chiefs lose this weekend, they fall to 0-2, we're then going to start having serious conversations about them trading for Tyreek Hill, right?
Oh, we're already there. No. There's already chatter all over the place. Steelers, Chiefs in on Tyreek Hill. There's Mike Florio's banging this drum. We are already there. Know that the first week of the Miami Dolphins was apocalyptic enough, and the first week of the Chiefs and Steelers looking that way. Everyone listening to this says, ooh, Tyreek Hill. With those quarterbacks, of course, that makes sense. That would be Pittsburgh being all in on top of all in on top of all in on this year, and Kansas City needs exactly that. Like that's perfect for Kansas City,
especially if Xavier Worthy can't tough it out because it was one
He's
of those borderline.
Play with a brace this weekend.
Yeah,
I don't know about that.
They're still trying to evaluate whether or not he gets his surgery. A lot of great games on this slate. Primetime slate week 1 delivered. Every primetime game was a banger.
By the way, we got 2 Monday Night Football games next week. I love double header Monday Night
Let me go through the primetime slate. Primetime slate. Thursday, we got Commanders at Packers.
Okay.
All right. Sunday Night Football, real interesting game. Falcons, Vikings. Wow. Monday Night Football, double header.
Yes.
We got Baker and the Bucks going into Houston.
Is C.J. Stroud any good?
We'll find out.
I don't know.
This is a make or break game.
We're
going to
find out in a make or break game that C.J. Stroud is good.
We got that double header. You got Chargers at Raiders, Zaz. But as you mentioned, big time game for the Kansas City Chiefs. Super Bowl rematch. Afternoon window. I want tickets to that game. You want tickets to that game?
Well, I mean,
you can't get tickets to that game because that game's sold out. There's only one option that you have.
You idiot! You thought you could get tickets to that game a normal way?
I thought.
Don't even try to guess how you get tickets. Take the guesswork out of getting tickets.
Exactly right. Well, why you asked me that then?
Download the Game Time app, Zaz. It's a secondary market. It's the best option on it. You get so many cool features. Panoramic seat views. You're not flying blind. And the price you see is the price you pay. Take the guesswork out of buying NFL tickets. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code Dan for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Swipe, tap, ticket, go.
You just said on a Tuesday in week 2, you said it, I heard you, everybody heard you. You said this is a make or break game to find out if C.J. Stroud is good this week. You said, I'm going to find out this week, and you're a liar. I'm not going to find that out this week. I know he's good already. I know the pressure up the middle has undone him for several years. I'm not going to find out this weekend because next week and the week after that, I'm also going to think C.J. Stroud is good, and I'm not going to understand his regression.
We've seen that happen with quarterbacks before.
I don't know if he's good.
We've seen one-year wonders before.
I don't know. 9 points this weekend against the Rams?
That was bad.
They're Ram tough. They're Ram tough. You know they're Ram tough.
Now
you
you're
know
talking.
Now you're talking. You know they're Ram tough.
Now you're
they
talking.
Can beat every team that way. Every team. They could have won the Super Bowl.
9 points.
They could have done that to Philadelphia last year, and you all know it.
Is Houston center still out injured? I know he got hurt in that game.
Hurt,
That's bad. That's real bad for a team that
him off.
surrenders pressure up the middle. That's bad.
That is bad.
I don't like that injury.
That's a bad injury, and they did cart him off.
I thought for a second their center's name was Houston Center when you said that.
Put it on the poll. Should Houston Center's name be
Houston
Houston Center?
Perfect name for a
Guys,
center.
It is
I
a
know
great
ball.
name. It is a
I
great
know
name.
ball. When the Houston center gets carted off the field,
Yeah, that's not good.
I'm not I know that guy's name. I'm not going to try to fool you here.
Do you know it, Dan? I know what it is.
I don't. What I know is he's number 50 and he's super round.
He is very round.
And I know
Most
that he was
centers
carted
are
off.
in the 50s and round.
You know what? You're correct. I will grant you that. Most centers are. This one was extra round in his
specifically
uniform.
round.
Oh, super round.
He was. In fact, I was looking at it as he was carted off the field, and I'm like, "Oh no, that's bad for determining whether C.J. Stroud is good or not." And because pressure up the middle, it seems like it would be hard for anybody to handle in that sport. When
a little short
when
too.
spitting Jalen Carter is running up the middle, it seems like it would be hard to play the position that way.
How about you roll outside?
No, you're
okay?
right.
I'm
You're-
sick of hearing
you're
pressure
correct.
up the middle.
You're correct.
I'm sick of hearing that. Roll outside.
Again, though, fat number 50.
Andrew's his name.
Who was roly-poly. I was thinking to myself as he ran off the field, jiggling a little in the midsection, I'm like, that guy doesn't want to eat that way. He wants to be fitter, but he has to be this size because Jalen Carter's over there and he's spitting.
Dan, I'm being told we've located the video of Justin Bieber having Mike Gundy as his ringtone.
This is stunning to me.
Like, I went bungee jumping. It was a lot of fun. That's my ringtone for everything.
Oh, it is?
Come
There it
after
is.
me. I'm a man. I'm 40.
He loves it.
It's a good ring.
He's a good sports fan.
Knows ball.
Can you find for me, because some people were saying that Lucy Rohden can do that whole speech and has done it before. Like there are several videos on the internet of she's able to do from memory the entirety of the Mike Gundy speech, because I don't think it's been topped by Coastal Carolina or anybody. I think for 18 reigning years, Mike Gundy has made it. So his press conference at 40 is the signature thing about his entire career at Oklahoma State.
I mean, the mullet. He won a Fiesta Bowl.
Has
Brandon
Saban had any good ones? I feel like there's been some good Saban
Gundy's
ones.
won 10 games in a season. This is not to indict, although I like to indict this person. This is not to indict that he has won big games there. I don't remember any of them. But yet, his most signature moment is losing his mind 18 years ago in a press conference.
Saban had the sideline interview. I'm not doing it, so quit asking.
Rat poison, another good one.
Again, all pale in comparison. We're talking.
So stop asking. Decent Saban, actually. I don't know where that came from. Was it quit asking?
Quit asking.
So quit asking. I'm not doing it, so quit asking.
I don't know what you want me to say. I'm not going to be the Alabama coach.
You know good and well they're ram tough.
They're ram tough, man.
It's a towing capacity.
They are tough. They're a tough team.
Ford Cristobal.
Matthew Stafford is one of the toughest human beings to ever play sports. He never gets hurt, or I should say he does get hurt, and it doesn't matter because he's
always hurt.
Because he's still out there. No,
Important part, though.
Yes.
Always hurt, but
he's always hurt, but always ram tough.
Always ram tough.
Always. The Rams beating Houston, and you guys asking, is C.J. Stroud good? Because Jake Landman comes in and is just throwing haymakers in the secondary. Just do you realize? I don't believe there was a better feeling in the sport. Not a one this weekend. Than in the open field, sizing up a running back with a punch, and then just doing no interest in making the tackle. This is not a tackle. This is a felonious act in the real world. In the wild, this is a felony to do this to another human being. And he just lands right on the ball and nukes C.J. Stroud, nukes Houston's first game. Houston was going to win that game right there. Right there. They weren't even going to give the ball back to Ram Tough. They were just going to keep the ball the rest of the game, and he punched it out. Tell me who felt better than that. We said Jalen Ramsey yesterday. Who else are you giving?
It's lazy, but Josh Allen felt like a G. Yeah. Like, it's all me. It's like, I'm the guy.
Jordan Love.
A single moment, though, can't feel better.
I felt bad for Cam Kinchins because he actually won the game and it was erased by a penalty, and then Landman came in and stole the game too.
A defensive player never gets to feel quite as good as Jalen Ramsey, and Landman felt this weekend. Here's Lucy Rohden doing the Mike Gundy speech from memory in a way that echoes for 18 years.
3 years ago, I was very bored, and I learned Mike Gundy's I'm a Man, I'm 40 monologue, like just cuz. And someone reshared it, so I want to see if I still got it.
If anybody hasn't read this article, I didn't read it. This was brought to me by a mother of children. I think this is worth reading. Let me tell you why I'm talking about this article. 3/4 of this is inaccurate. It's fiction. And this article embarrasses me to be involved with athletics. Here's all that kid did. He goes to class. He's respectful to the media. He's respectful to the public. And he's a good kid. And He's not a professional athlete, and he doesn't deserve to be kicked when he's down. That's why I don't read the newspaper. Because it's garbage. And the editor that let it come out is garbage. Attacking an amateur athlete for doing everything right. And then you want to write articles about guys that don't do things right and downgrade them, the ones that do make plays. Are you kidding me? Where are we at in society today? Come after me. I'm a man. I'm 40. I'm not a kid. Write something about me. That's all I got to say. Makes me want to puke.
End scene.
Do you get annoyed every time Dan Le Batard pontificates about the sports media industry? Well, too bad, He knows you don't give a damn about what he's gonna say. It's time for Sports Media Talk today.
Tony Kornheiser and Michael Wilbon have signed a 3-year extension for PTI. I'm going to assume, but cannot say this for sure, that it will be their last contract there, because I don't know how much after 80 years old Tony's going to be wanting to do that, even though people around him who love him suspect the moment you turn off that TV camera, he will just wander over to a potted plant and start giving that his sports opinions. I don't know what the details are on. Did they make them go to an hour from a half hour? Because there was some thought that it would be easy to do that, which would be easy for them to do that, except you've got to pay Tony twice as much as you were paying him if you want him to do twice as much work, and that might be less easy than it used to be. One of the greatest sports television shows, top 10 of all time, correct? Top 5? Like where are we putting, what are the greatest sports television shows there have ever been? And does PTI rise to the level? That's more than 20 plus years of chemistry on television and able to survive all of the flux at ESPN and at Disney, because it's still a monster when it comes to ratings, even though very little is a monster when it comes to ratings.
I remember where I was the first time I saw the show. I think I was 19. I remember exactly where I was, and it was incredible because I remember saying to myself, well, hold up. Those are the topics they're going to talk about, and they're on my screen? I get to see what they're going to talk about on this show?
That's one of the great sports inventions of all time, that ticker, that timer that keeps them to 90 seconds in the event that you are not interested in that topic. You know it's going to change in 60 seconds because what they did there is grab short attention spans before social media, before the addictions, and they're like, we're going to speed all this up for you. We're going to give you SportsCenter in a half hour and how to think about it. And I just don't know where it would rank in greatest sport. It's certainly one with the longest run. It's certainly crazy that it's a daily show, right? Because I don't think many of whatever it is we'd be nominating for best sports television of all time is going to be a daily show 240 to 300 times a year because of the need for content. Top 5, Zaslow? Top 5 all time. Because I
building
remember
out a top 10 right now.
Yeah, I have a hard time believing it's not top 3.
Of all the arguments I've had with Boog Shambi, he tends to win most of them. He's smarter about sports
good debater.
Than I am. He also saw that come up on his screen for the first time, and he looks to me and he says, that'll never work. Because they were bad at the beginning. They didn't know what they were doing. There was no chemistry.
Well, they infamously, when the bell would ring, they would stop and look around, right?
Well, they didn't know how to do television necessarily as chemistry, right? They were very good at radio. They were very good in the newsroom having chemistry, but televised chemistry has to be learned, and obviously, what are you laughing about, Chris? They perfected it, obviously. Let's get a list of the top 5 television
I have a top
shows
10
of all time. All right, we're going to get to it in a second. We're going to go through it with Bert Kreischer. Let's go through it with Bert Kreischer in a second, your top 10 list. But let's play some more sounds that we have not gotten to. I want to start with Jacksonville's owner. Tony is feeling Jacksonville, okay? They didn't even get huge games from their skill guys. Their skill guys are good, and their defense is going to be good. And at the end of the game, Shad Khan, who is just so very happy to be out from under the stench of Urban Meyer, it takes a long time to recover from it. He is giddy with enthusiasm, our friend Tony Khan's dad.
This is what we envisioned in January, okay? Yes, sir. It's happening here in September. Gonna go on forever.
You can hear the pain in the way.
Gonna go on forever.
Please. You could just he might as well just be saying Jacksonville.
Forever's ambitious. Can we agree?
Long time.
Gonna go on forever.
Why was the kicker on the right dressed like the vampire Lestat?
Yeah, he was actually.
I want to get to some coaching sound. Can someone explain to me why and how this escalated so quickly with Steve Sarkeesian, who's feeling himself after getting dragged with his great quarterback? The headlines, God, I just was looking back through some old headlines. Arch Manning built for this moment.
I don't really know what's going on in this clip. I would just describe this as an awkward back and forth between Steve Sarkeesian and a reporter.
Arch Manning seemed to be having some throwing pains by the
According to
fourth quarter.
who?
Arch.
Arch said that to you?
No.
Oh, according to who?
It just looked like he was.
He doesn't have any.
Is there an explanation to why it looked like that?
I don't know. I've never filmed any of you guys when you're using the bathroom, so I don't know what faces you make when you're doing that.
Was Arch in the bathroom? I don't know. Is that a saying? I never film you guys in the bathroom.
Why'd the reporter lie there?
Yeah, that was weird, right?
Oh, they get scared when the big tough.
He's
coach.
like, "Oh, Arch."
No,
Did
but
you talk to him? No.
This is. I understand that I'm.
You won't
obviously,
let me.
The bathroom.
You won't let me talk to them.
I'm pro media, and so I've got my biases. But that's just a scared reporter, and that's just a tough guy coach who's in power and can embarrass a scared reporter who got nervous.
I've never filmed any of you guys when you're using the bathroom, so I don't know what faces you make when you're doing that.
It'd be illegal.
You know, a lot of people have different problems with Sarkeesian. I think people are deserving of a second chance. For me, I wrote him off. You ever see that video of him chewing out the ESPN field producer while he's in the tunnel getting ready to come out for a bowl game? I could already make a character judgment on this guy by how he treated that dude.
Arch said that to you?
No.
Why do you lie?
I don't want to make a character judgment about drinking problems because everyone knows that there are an assortment of addictions that run rampant and sickness that runs rampant as well when it comes to not being able to control your addictions. But it is fairly amazing that Sarkeesian has been able to get that particular job so quickly after being someone who was drinking on the job in his previous, or actually 2 stops ago, the last time he was a head coach. Rehabbed himself the way that many did and do under Saban, literal rehab, and then comes back and has that job, which is with that quarterback. He's in a pretty fantastic position given the way that his last head coaching job ended. It's a fairly amazing story. That he would hit reporters with arrogance probably has to do with, and now he feels what the pressure of that job is when you have that quarterback as well. Probably doesn't feel very good every day.
Yeah, for me, it's just how he treated the field producer. It's just really bad. It's a really bad look, and it shows how you treat other people. And if you can read into how he treats the media, you can read into how he treats a field producer. I'm just not a fan. Haven't been a fan since I saw that clip. All for giving people multiple chances, and he's gotten multiple chances.
How about this? Are you a fan of this? This Brian Callahan, you are in a position where you are in the tank for Cam Ward. Everyone else is at fault for any of Cam Ward's failures. He should have been 28 for 28 in his game against Denver if simply everyone around him hadn't betrayed him, who's a Tennessee Titan, including his coach not knowing the rules.
That's a misinterpretation. I counted 24 of 28.
Cam Ward would have had the day Aaron Rodgers had if the Titans weren't bums, and that is the fair and reasonable analysis from Mike Ryan. Calvin Ridley could not catch balls that were too hot to handle, but let's hear.
They could have been handled. Yeah. All right, make a play for the young man, and that's what I was saying the entire game. But the rookie from Stanford that put up 200-plus yards on Travis Hunter, this is an exciting draft pick. Tony, help me with the name because I don't want to mispronounce it. That's right. So... young man makes a play, goes up there, catches the ball, elbow comes down in bounds, the rest of the body falls out of bounds, and I'm watching at home. This TV is NASCAR's on the main, for those that don't know.
Isn't that in bounds?
Should be in bounds.
I thought so. I thought I knew ball. Apparently I didn't know ball.
They didn't challenge it.
It's not challenged. They didn't take a look at it. I see the replay on the TV. I'm like, the elbow came down. I thought the elbow,
Does one elbow equal 2 feet?
Well, let's see.
You're asking the right question.
I feel like I've heard that before.
We all thought that,
A
right?
butt cheek. What are the things that equal 2 feet?
Knee, butt cheek, elbow.
All of those things. Is there anything else that
shoulder possibly?
Face, teeth,
shin.
Yep.
We've seen that play out before, but I found it very odd.
What about head?
Head? I don't know.
If your head lands in bounds and then your feet land out of bounds, is your head 2 feet?
Which one? Where's the ball?
We've never seen that before.
But maybe we will one day. So it's important to establish
But
rules.
one butt is a butt, correct?
One cheek, 2 feet.
I gotta think the head is down in bounds. If the shin is
comes down head first, and then falls over.
If you land on the top of your helmet and then your feet land out of bounds, that's going to be no catch.
Which head?
Oh, really?
He was workshopping that for 8, and we were like,
Really?
no, don't do
Really?
that. And he was like, I'm
confused.
I'm doing the joke.
All right, put it on the poll. Is the penis, does it count as 2 feet? Yeah. The penis doesn't count as 2 feet.
So you and I think
if
if it
just
does,
his penis would land in bounds and the rest of his body out of
An
bounds?
elbow? I mean, what's the difference?
There's pants.
What is the rule?
So we knew ball. The elbow comes down in bounds. That counts as a knee. That counts as 2 feet.
I feel like I've heard that before.
So let's hear the head coach, Brian Callahan, after the game, and then Brian Callahan upon reflection, first after the game.
It looked like his elbow hit inbounds first.
Yeah, you got to get a foot inbounds too, which we didn't have a clean look at whether his foot was down as well. An elbow doesn't equal 2 feet, so his foot would have had to come down as well. We didn't have a clean look, so the call from upstairs was that it wasn't worth challenging.
So, Zaz, you and I, very clearly idiots.
There is no way that you have to have an elbow and a foot. There's no way that's the rule.
Well, an elbow and a foot,
twister?
that equals 2 feet.
What is the rule?
One knee.
What is the damn rule?
Hey,
is
Dan,
an elbow worth 2 feet or is
Dan,
it not worth 2 feet?
Dan, he had conviction when he spoke. You're an idiot for thinking an elbow is down in bounds. Let's hear Mr. Callahan upon reflection.
The conversation about the play with Ellick and challenging the play and what I said after the game. And look, ultimately, my interpretation of the rule was wrong. I'll own it. We should have challenged the play, and that's pretty much all I can say about it. Is I'll own the mistake. We should have challenged it, and that's where it stands. That process and how those things get relayed, I'll keep those in house. But I'm the head coach of the football team, and my job is to make those decisions. And I didn't do a good enough job in that moment. And I should have challenged it, and
he wanted to.
and it probably would have resulted in a potential explosive play.
This is how you say I'm not blaming anyone while blaming other
He
people.
wanted to blame somebody else there, Dan.
He didn't know the
doubt.
rules. He didn't know the rules.
I said that in your ear, and then you sounded like somebody in System of a Down, just like in the middle of that. Yeah, he wanted to. But I'm glad, as someone that champions admitting when you were wrong, it only took our man a day. And head coaches notoriously stubborn. So good on you, Mr. Callahan.
He is a comedian. He's a podcast host. He is a machine. He's got a couple of hilarious podcasts, Two Bears, One Cave with Tom Segura. He's been off for a while, and he's got the Bertcast, and he's got Something's Burning. You could see him at the Great Outdoors Comedy Festival in Vancouver this weekend, September 12th. His Permission to Party World Tour dates and tickets are available at bertbertbert.com. He is working very hard. He is always working, and he loves his sport. So let's include him on a couple of conversations we're having. What equals 2 feet, Bert, as a catch in the NFL? Does the elbow count as 2 feet?
An elbow, an ear, or a nose all count. They're all specific, but yeah.
They should. How about an ass cheek? An ass cheek counts as 2 feet?
If you drag it, yeah. If you drag it.
If you drag an ass cheek. What else you got, Zach?
What if you just land on your head and then the rest of your body falls out of bounds? Catch?
Catch. 100% a catch.
Okay, good. We're doing the rules. Mike, you want to give Bert your top 10 sports television shows of all time now that Tony and Mike have signed a 3-year extension? I assume. We got to assume it's the last one. No? Are you assuming it's the last one?
For us, no.
We're 3 years? I didn't get 3 years.
I didn't get 3 years.
Number 10, George Michael Sports Machine. I mean, just an OG. Inspired so many other shows that followed it.
Any thoughts there, Kreischer? You believe that, or you're out on that?
I'm out. I've never heard of it.
Okay.
Believe it or not, one half of Wham hosted a sports highlight.
That's not true. at all.
You're messing with me now. You're messing with me. Okay, let's play this game. I can't wait.
No. We can play real or fake podcast later on, though.
Yes, we will
All
play
right,
that.
We'll
Number
do that.
9.
Number 9, Around the Horn. Number 8, Sunday, NFL Countdown. You thought there was a show that was just called Sunday? What was going on there? Number 7, Baseball Tonight.
Great jingle.
You remember when baseball was interesting?
That's a good point by you.
Do you remember when do you remember Saturday baseball when you'd go play Little League and then you'd come home and you'd watch the highlights and you were like, man, I want to play for the rest of my life.
Bert.
And then you're just like, nah, I'll just do testosterone.
Bert, you remember Web Gems? You remember Diamond Notes with Peter Gammons? That's when baseball was baseball, pal.
That's when America knew who their enemy was.
That's right. Amen. Number 6, Inside the NFL. Number 5, Real Sports. Number 4, Pardon the Interruption. Number 3, Inside the NBA.
Yeah.
Number
with
2,
Shaq and Barkley, right?
Yes. Number 2,
yeah.
College Game Day. Number
Hold
1.
on. Slow down. I just got my pants off. We can't just go straight into it.
Number
1. Tease me.
Hold on, Mike. Do you have any objections before we get to number 1? Bert, do you have any objections to anything he's put on the list? Do you have anything that you would rank higher?
No, I've nothing that I'd mess. I mean, nothing I'd mess with right now, except I know what number 1 should be. Okay.
Are you okay with Inside the NBA being behind College Game Day?
Personally, no. I think Shaq and Charles Barkley are two of the most fascinating individuals in the entire world. To watch Shaq eat the hottest chip challenge is one of the greatest pieces of footage I've ever seen in my entire life.
I still say that anytime I eat something spicy. Number 1.
I need you to tease me.
Number 1. This was a star-making vehicle. This was late night for a generation. These were the VJs of kids for the 90s. This was Sports Center.
Boom, baby.
And I say this was Sports Center because
Stuart Scott.
Yes. Fell off. Stuart Scott. Name them more. Dan Patrick. Rich Eisen.
Rich Eisen. Dude, let me tell you something. I had dinner with Stuart Scott when I first started stand-up in New York. And I was drunk, and I was like, and you have to be a real Sports Center fan to remember, he came in and stirred things up. He stirred everything up because all of a sudden he was coming in with potential, just like booyah, right back at you. Do you remember that?
Bert, he was just black.
Yeah, that's how he stirred it up.
But you remember that was stirring things up. We're talking about 1991.
It was.
Yeah.
It still is, Bert. Bert,
100%.
it still is, Bert. It still is.
I'm not totally comfortable with Club Shay Shay. Anyway, but, I mean, I got to be honest, talk about us every now and then. You know what I mean? Would it kill you? But I had dinner with him, and I got to talk to him about that, and he broke down everything that was happening internally at ESPN with the way he was talking and the way he was being representing the thing, and it was the most fascinating conversation I've ever had, and that's the only time I ever met him.
What a bar.
He was just black, though. Like, what happened, the shocking thing that he was is that Rich Eisen was there, and then here comes the guy who's black.
It happens that way so much. 48 hours. Trading space.
It's a staple of Americana, really, if you think about it. It's how it works. But, Bert, every time we talk to you, your life gets crazier and crazier. And I gotta be honest, I feel for you sometimes because I feel like you get hurt by some of the stuff wherever it is that you're polarizing as opposed to it being 100% laughter. And I want you to just enjoy your life because it seems like everything great is happening in your life.
Everything great's happening in my life. Are you kidding me? I gave the pump-up speech at Florida State before we took our first game this year. It was one of the greatest moments of my entire life. Florida State's having a great season. The Bucs are having a great season. I am the happiest kid in town. I'm getting ready to go on tour. I just wrapped my TV show for Netflix. I haven't drank in 2 days. Come on, I feel like Superman.
How is it that you've been in the last 6 months in terms of running into folks where you're like, how is this my life? Because every time we talk to you, your life gets a little bit crazier in terms of whose company you're keeping.
Be more specific.
Oh, I don't know. Every day for you brings some sort of absurdity, does it not? Where you're looking around and saying, how did I get from, partying more than anyone in the history of Florida State University to why am I sitting next to this person?
I'll tell you what, we had a crazy experience. Me and Tommy went to that Florida State game, and I was with Work Done and Danny Cannell. Now, if you remember Like in the 90s, the choke at Doak was like one of the biggest games I ever remember watching. And I remember that being orchestrated by Danny Cannell and Warwick Dunn. Now, Warwick didn't score a lot of touchdowns in that game, but he was just invaluable. And there I am in the president's box, or right just outside the media box, shirtless, holding on to Warwick Dunn and Danny Cannell with Tom Segura, my best friend. And I thought to myself, if you had told me in 1993 or 1994 that I would be shirtless in this stadium with Warwick Dunn and Danny Cannell, I'd be like, are they running a train on me?
What was it like for you to do that speech? Were you nervous being in front of a stadium? You're playing giant venues now, but specifically because of your reverence for that program, how nervous were you before just getting in front of those people and just saying a few words?
So I was terrified all the way. I was terrified all morning and the week leading up to it. And then the second I got on the field, Tommy pulled me aside and Kirk Fox's opener, and they said, talk with them, not at them. You're one of them. And the second they said that, I realized I am that kid that sat in those end zone stadium bleachers when they were wooden bleachers, watching Dan Mowry play Miami going wide right. I am that kid that the first time I saw the spear go down, and I was supposed to just say, like, God bless America, God bless the troops, ladies and gentlemen, start your engines. I think that's all they wanted me to do. And I just went on a rant about this is the house that Bobby Bowden built. When that spear hit that 50-yard line, tears streamed down my face. Those tears were garnet and gold. Ladies and gentlemen, Alabama has no idea what house they just stepped into. I have two words to say: go Noles. And I'm talking when 90,000 people erupt, that's when you storm the Capitol. I mean, that's like Stalin, Mussolini, that other guy's kind of stuff. That moves a country.
Lifetime tickets to any team, only one team. Who you picking?
Oh, the Indiana Fever.
College or pro football, best tailgate?
Oh, college, without a doubt. And I don't mean to be disrespectful, but let's be very honest. At least there's a litmus of education at a college tailgate. When you go to a Bills or a Steelers tailgate, you don't need to have any education. You can just be a dude fresh out of prison. Now that's barring none. My University of Miami, of course, obviously that doesn't matter. But at any other college, you need some sort of level of education to get to the tailgate. College tailgate, 100%.
Why are you wearing two watches?
I'm not. One's a Whoop.
What do you got there?
It's a Whoop.
No, the other side.
There it
Root beer
is.
Daytona. What do you got going on there?
No, this is a GMT Master 2.
Nice.
What's the longest you've gone without wearing a shirt?
Oh, that would have to be Hawaii. I didn't wear a shirt to dinner 2 nights in a row because they were private rooms, and so I was just coming straight off the beach, and that was 4 days straight. 4 days straight. By the way, no shower, no shirt. I count the ocean, and anyone in Miami would count the ocean as a shower.
Put it on the poll at Le Batard Show. Does the ocean count as a shower? I think salt water is something you should want to get off your body.
No, hold on. You can rinse if you want, but if you go into the ocean, you are clean. The Lord has cleaned you. I will also say for any Florida kid, pool counts as a shower.
Let's play our new game with Bert. Bert has helped popularize the podcast. What's going on with Two Bears, One Cave? You guys were doing movies and doing other projects, so you allowed you allowed guest hosts to come in. I saw that Sam Morrell was on there. How'd all that go, and are you back now?
Yeah, we're back. We're back doing them. We both had projects. Tom had a movie and I had a TV show. And it's a little frustrating. You know, obviously podcast is the thing that got us to the dance. But now the dance is asking us to do different things. And it's kind of like you don't want to forget your roots and what got you there. But at the same time, you have so many plates spinning that we're trying to do both. So I don't know. I'm trying to skinny up my podcast dance slate, meaning with Bertcast and Something's Burning, so that I can focus more on Two Bears, to be honest with you.
Because why do you want to focus on that? It's been the prize baby, obviously, and it's something that's important to you. And I like that you brought in these comedians who could freshen up, like they respect the platform you've built, and they were doing something different than you guys would do, and your audience liked that too.
Yeah, they loved it. By the way, I do that more often. I would bring in guest hosts, and I mean, I'll talk very candidly, but Two Bears makes a great deal of money, and to share that money with other comics that are coming in and breathing fresh air into it, like it's kind of nice. Like we just basically hand the podcast over, everything. They do the ad reads, they make the money, and it's kind of nice to be dead. And I think the fans like it, and it makes it more fun for us, and it also invigorates us, because I was like, wow, they killed it. We got to really start writing down subjects to talk about, Tom.
What would you identify in your top experience of the last 5 years that has been a surprise? Just where you're just surprised that something has blown up for you as a professional success, that it outranks all the others.
Oh, it's without a doubt, it's acting. I never planned on being an actor. I had no interest in acting. I thought actors were idiots. I thought they were it was the dumbest profession you could ever do. And then I did it in the machine, and I didn't think, I was like, I'll do one movie and that's it. It's my movie about me. That's it. And then I started getting offered acting roles, like a lot. And I turned them all down, because I was like, I just want to play me, and that's it. I want to play Bert. And then I just did this last one, and now I have 3 movies lined up, and this show looks like, it's going to be pretty good, I think. But I'm getting offered weird acting roles, serious acting roles. And I just did a part where I get the crap beat out of me. I don't know. I never thought acting would be something I'd want to do at all. I just didn't. I like this. I love this medium. And I was like, I'll be podcasting forever, and you're never going to match the money. And the acting doesn't pay anything really compared to podcasting and stand-up.
Mike, are you ready to play a real or fake podcast with one of the podcast kings?
Yes. Chris Cody, hit it.
Listen up. Time to think fast. Is this a real or fake podcast?
Self-explanatory. I'm going to give you a podcast title, Bert, and you have to decipher whether or not it is a real or fake podcast. First one up, The Kittle Things with George Kittle.
That's fake. There's no way and if it's not fake, he's got to change the name.
That is a real podcast.
Shut up! Shut up!
He does it with his wife.
The Kittle Things.
The Kittle
Are you
Things.
being serious? I'm calling George Kittle right now. He should do it with children and call it Kittle People.
Second one up, Reese's Pieces with Reese Davis.
You got him shook, Mike. He is
got to be real. That's got to be real. It's too good.
That is a fake podcast.
Are you serious?
Bert stinks at this game. He's truly terrible at this game.
Next one up, House Rules with Matt Rule.
Fake.
That is a real podcast.
These are worse than Birdcast. Who named these?
Little FSU tinge to this one. Football Bromance with Bjorn Werner.
Bromance?
With Bjorn Werner.
I think it's real.
That one's actually real. Yeah. Bjorn Werner.
Yes.
And lastly, The House of Stone and Light with Martin Page.
Those would be with Chris Light. The House of Stone and Light
with Martin Page.
That's fake. That's fake.
That is an adult contemporary hit from the early 90s. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
You finished
Bert.
hot.
Yes, you went 2
song.
for 5. I will remind everyone again that you see him at the Great Outdoors Comedy Festival in Vancouver this weekend, September 12th. His Permission to Party World Tour. You can get tour dates, tickets available at bertbertbert.com. What's the most moved you've been on stage here recently, Bert? Because I thought it might have been in the last special when you threw your shirt up in the air and it landed exactly on the microphone. I believe that's as well as you could ever do it.
That caught me off guard. That was the most moved I've been, honestly, was and I only know this because it was Tampa at the Amalie Arena, and right before I was about to go on stage, my dad called me. My dad was my dad's never seen me perform live. He called me and he goes, "Hey, Wade Boggs is here," and I was like, "Yeah, I know." And he was like, "No, he's in my box suite do you think he knows who you are? I go, yeah, Dad, I got him tickets. And he was like, you know Wade Boggs? I go, no, I don't know Wade Boggs, but he wanted tickets. We're going to meet him after the show. He goes, I'm going to get to meet Wade Boggs. I go, introduce yourself now, Dad. That was the most. And then we got backstage, and Derek Brooks, who, FSU legend, was backstage with me and my dad. And he said to my dad, can you believe the career your son's had? And my dad goes, do you know my son? And he goes, I was at his first show. And Derek Brooks walks out and goes, and my dad goes, buddy, Derek Brooks knows who you are. Can you imagine the life you've lived if Derek Brooks knows who you are? That was the greatest. That was the Mount Rushmore. I'm done. I could go back and do clubs for the rest of my life.
He's not your favorite Seminole, no. The best Seminole of all time is blank.
The best Seminole of all time? The best Seminole of all time is Charlie Ward.
Better than Dion.
Oh, Charlie Ward, when I was there, Charlie Ward was so undeniable. He was so undeniable. 3rd and 17, and you knew Charlie Ward would come through. You know what I loved about Charlie Ward? When Warwick Dunn's mom got killed, Charlie Ward said to Bobby Bowden, let him live with me. I'll take care of him. And that's how we got Warwick Dunn. That's how great Charlie Ward was, is he imprinted on Warwick Dunn. And that's how we got that great individual that is Warwick Dunn.
Yeah, but he deserved to be tossed into the 5th row by P.J. Brown, let's be honest.
Dude, the biggest mistake Charlie Ward ever made was playing basketball. I understand he doesn't have CTE and he can use his knees and ... But let's be real. How great would Charlie have Ward been in the NFL? He was so undeniable on 3rd and long. It was, I've never felt that in my life. I feel two things. Charlie Ward can complete on 3rd and long, and my wife will never cheat on me. Those are 2 truths I know, and no matter what.
Zazzle, did you have something here for Bert?
No.
Okay.
Bert, people get your tickets at bertbertbert.com. Was bertbert.com not available? What happened there?
No, that's a dog. It was Bert. Bert was a dog. Bert was a real estate agent. And I tried to get Diet Bert. I tried the White Gorilla. I tried Green State. I tried Bert. I just figured 4 Berts was ridiculous. 3 really like Tora.
The touring lifestyle, are you going to let go of that at all? I know that you love the stand-up, but you have all of these other things that are calling you, and sometimes you might not exactly want to be flying to Minneapolis.
I don't fly. I drive in a bus. I'm like John Madden. I love touring. I will never quit touring. Touring is more fun than being at home with my family, than sitting in Hawaii on the beach. Touring is the best. The lifestyle rocks. You're with your boys. It's like camp every night. Everyone's drinking, giggling, falling asleep. You wake up, you have lunch, you find an activity to do in said city, you take a nap, you work out, you go on stage, you drink, and you do it all over again. Touring is Groundhog's Day, but with your favorite people in the world.
Bert, when's the last time you had a negative experience with someone in the crowd?
I don't know. Well, but it's like I'm in an arena, so it's like I'm a little distant. So like I don't really hear if someone's upset. I don't hear. Oh,
that is.
I'm
good.
in an arena, buddy. I'm not playing small. I'm not playing little
security's problem.
I haven't made eye contact in 2 years.
I can't hear their voices up there.
I can't even see them from where it is that they're yelling. Never mind hear them.
I don't know if they're even there. So I'll tell you what, the big problem you get in arenas is like I'm doing Red Rocks again, and you get complaints from the people like at the very, very top. They're like, I could barely see the show. And at a certain point, you're like, yeah, that does suck. Like, why would I sell tickets to that far away to that person? That's the biggest complaint you get, is the people that in the cheap seats are like, dude, I couldn't see anything.
Because you like money, that's why.
Yeah. Listen, I got Rolexes to pay for, guys. They don't pay for themselves.
And the wives too.
I got my wrists are light, and if I don't hold them down with this stuff, I'm just
That's
up
a
here
heavy boy, Dan.
Can you take us back through the journey? Take us from Red Rocks, for example, to what were the worst of the venues you were playing when you couldn't have imagined the idea that you would be playing someplace like Red Rocks.
Oh my God. I mean, dude, Dayton, Ohio on a Thursday night with 35 people in the audience, and 25 of them don't want to be there. And that's when I started taking my shirt off, because I was like, I'm miserable. I'm missing my family. This can't be the dream. $1,300, and I'm paying half to the taxes. I got to pay for my own flight, my own hotel. The only thing I'm getting free is Heineken. And I was like, I was miserable. I mean, Miami was one of the hardest clubs in the country. I remember going on stage and no one laughing to the point where I didn't think they spoke English. And I would try to make a joke about that. And they were like, I remember one time in Miami, I was bombing and I was like, okay, I'm not certain everyone here is fluent in English. So what I want to do is I'm going to bring a black guy and a Cuban guy on stage. And can you just translate to your people and tell them what I'm saying? And they were like, yeah. And I brought a black dude and a Cuban guy. And I said, I was talking to a girl. And the black guy just looks at me and he goes, can a player get some conversation? And the place goes bananas. And then the Cuban guy just says it in Spanish. And then we talked about oral sex. And it was like completely white guy did not translate to these guys. And so that was like a turning point in my career when I realized the gloves have to be off. You have to be up for anything. You can't have some set program ready to just regurgitate to an audience. You got to be like up for anything.
How long ago was that?
That was 19 years ago.
All right. Well, congratulations on all the success, sir. It looks like it's a good deal of fun to be you these days.
It's not bad being you either.
The Florida State experience, your best sports experience, because you've had a number of them here where you found yourself in some surreal positions with athletes. What comes closest to being the Florida State speech, or beating it or being it?
The even better than the speech. Directly after my shirt's off, Tom's teared up. He's like, that was one of the most amazing things. And Michael Alford comes up, the athletic director, and he goes, come on, let's go. And we're like, where are we going? And he walks us to the center of the field, right by the Seminole head. And Chief Osceola comes up on Renegade and spikes the burning spear feet from us. And Tommy looks at me, tears coming down his face, and he's like, this is the greatest day of my life. And I mean, that I'm getting chill bumps talking about it. But for any Seminole, you know that your first experience of watching that spear going into the 50-yard line is the roar, the power of that stadium. And then to be there shirtless on the 50-yard line with my best friend was something that I don't have memories like that with my wife or my children, to be honest with you.
Good seeing you, Bert. I always remember that Cortez Kennedy had to be restrained from punching the horse. Thank you. Good seeing you, sir.
I love you, brother. Thank you so much.
Against the spread. Against the spread.
Against the Spread is presented by DraftKings. DraftKings, the crown is yours. Mike, kick us off.
Against the spread.
I like the Titans at home, +6. LA Rams, crossing country.
Ram tough.
I thought Tennessee's defense was actually really encouraging over there. I got to think a wide receiver's got to be making plays. And hopefully, we've learned that Cam Ward, year over year, coachable, improves. I think he sees that film and understands where he hurt his team, where he can get better. And I think Tennessee's going to be fighting hard at home. Too many points. I'm going to take the 6.
Did a single player on the Canes last year complain that the ball was thrown too hard?
No. It was weird how that happened.
Against the spread.
Tony.
I'm going to stay with Thursday Night Football. Last week I gave you guys Dallas +8.5. Too many points for the opening game. But I'm going back to Thursday Night Football. We got the Commies going into Lambeau Field. I love Jaden Daniels. I think everybody, including Vegas, saw the Packers dismantle the Lions, and they're giving them a little bit more juice. I think the Washington Commanders are going to go in, keep the game close. 3.5 is the line. Little hook there I like. So I'm going to take the Commies +3.5 against the Packers.
Against the spread. Against the spread.
How you doing, Juju? Good to see you.
Pretty good, brother. How you doing, man? Good to see you.
Doing all right. So, hey, Dan's penalties. The listeners had some thoughts over there. What were they saying?
Yes, sir. Today is the day I put a stop, put my foot down. Moving forward from today, we are finna start having Dan penalties interactive with the audience. I'm going to put up a poll of like 4 Dan-approved penalties, and we're going to let the audience vote on them because he opened the show today stirring shit. 9 o'clock in the morning, first thing we did before we opened our eyes, before we get the crust out of our eyes, he already stirring shit. Audience wanted a penalty for that. He kept telling Dianna to go faster. Newsflash, buddy. Fine for that. He told Tony at the top of his lungs to fuck off. excuse me, you could have told Tony that. Yes, he definitely needed to fuck off, but Tone, fine. You feel me? He said we might need Josh Allen to get hurt. It's like, fine. And then he asked Dianna, why aren't you freaking out about more stuff? Fine. We got to get him under control. So moving forward, we're going to put up a poll for the audience to vote on. What fine should Dan have to do today?
Okay. All right. That sounds like something. Juju, the New York Post said that, we've seen all these pics from the U.S. Open, the videos, the celebrities, they're all of a sudden they're huge tennis fans. New York Post said that the Uber situation at the U.S. Open has been a nightmare, huh?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. A nightmare. And I can only imagine. So it made me think, what are the worst places to catch an Uber from? So I made my top 5 places that you do not want to catch an Uber from, starting right now. OLI, the U.S. Open. I'm taking their word for it. I believe you guys. Number 5, Madison Square Garden.
Really?
Forget about it.
Just take a
literally.
Cab. Just take a cab or walk or take the train.
I use the train.
I use that strategy for almost every sporting event. I'm walking away.
I'm walking.
Yeah,
I'm walking.
You got to walk. You got to at least walk like a handful, like walk half a mile and then call.
That's right.
That's what I mean.
Right. Let me get out of this surge zone.
Number 4, any Chris Brown concert.
Why's that?
Hang it up. Too much going on. You're not going to find your Uber. Everyone else is calling the Uber at the same time. They don't have the same tactics. Chris Brown fans aren't as savvy as us older people. They call it as soon as he's finished. And nah, you don't want to get caught up in that.
All right.
Number 3, LAX. You got to catch an Uber. You got to catch a bus to another bus to an Uber to a shuttle.
Don't make me bus to a lot
No.
to call an Uber.
No.
I walk out, I call Uber.
Oh, you're at.
That's how that should work.
Oh, I'm at zone 48. Which one's that?
It's a mile away. Start walking.
Atlanta, quit moving it.
Oh, I'm at
Atlanta needs to stop moving it.
Oh, I'm at zone 642. I only have to walk 500 zones.
And you follow the signs, and the signs lead you to nowhere.
I'll tell you about that Atlanta airport. You get off your plane, it takes you an hour to then get out of the airport.
Yeah, and you look for the signs, and it's pointing in the opposite direction of where the lot actually is. Does nobody have this feedback for them?
Number 2, any national championship. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. Every time I'm trying to, that I didn't drive to a sporting event and I don't have a ride and I got to get an Uber, I just look to whoever I'm with. I'm like, I guess we live here now. Because there's just no way. There's just no way we get one.
The number one worst place to Uber from ever in the history of the world. The Hard Rock Stadium in Miami. Get that out of here. You got to walk 3 miles to the Uber zone, then call your Uber from the 3 miles down the road. It's chaos. I've never had a good time leaving the Dolphins game. Nothing.
I'm sure they'll all work out for the World Cup next year.
Yeah, Juju, you call them and you're like, just meet me at the Walmart. Meet me at the Walmart. Meet me at the Sonic Beach.
I like it. I got to get hip to that. Also, Zaz, I would like to ask you, where were you when you first saw your first episode of PTI? Because I'm calling BS that you don't remember, kind of, sort of. I think you pulled it out of your mirror.
No, 100%. I was at school at UCF. I think it was early in my sophomore year because, like I said, I think I was 19, and I lived in a townhouse back then. I remember I was in my townhouse. It's exactly where I was, so that would have been the year 2000. If that's when PTI started, then I'm definitely telling the truth.
Hey, I stand corrected. My boy had the facts and the receipts on this Turnt Tony Tuesday. Also, I think Bert Kreischer may have been giving us a little bit whenever he said that this conversation he had with Stuart Scott was the most intriguing conversation he ever had in his entire life. I'm calling the chickens on that one as well.
Uh-oh.
Sorry, Bert.
Uh-oh, Zaz. I'm seeing here the internet says PTI's first episode, October 22nd, 2001.
That's fine. I lived in that townhouse for a couple of years.
You
that's
said 2000, just making sure.
No, that's fine.
That's when you went to Santa Fe, right?
No, I was at UCF at the time.
I think that was Santa Fe.
Nope.
You
went to school.
You went to Santa Fe after UCF.
Nope, I would never even be able to tell you where Santa Fe is because I've never been to that school.
You know what next week is, Zaz?
Bullshit.
You know what next week is? It's Gator Week.
I know.
Guess
I
who went to
school
Santa
there.
Fe?
Not me.
Next week you did.
Not this guy.
You want those tickets?
Did I go to Santa Fe while I'm sitting next to you in the 72 Club?
Yeah.
Then maybe I did.
So Ben Simmons right now, his agent has dropped him. His agent said that he dropped him as a client after a decision that occurred after the point guard was sending signals that he wasn't interested in whatever came from the Knicks situation. Like, he was reportedly supposed to sign with the Knicks, and he showed no interest at all. I think we may have seen the last of Ben Simmons on a basketball court. It just might not be such a bad idea. You feel me? He got a lot of money, and wish that brother's mental health a lot of prosperity.
It is pretty crazy in retrospect how worked up we got around a guy that couldn't shoot in a league that was kind of geared toward shooting.
Yeah. The next LeBron.
Yeah, but LeBron could shoot. That was always like the flaw in the Ben Simmons formula.
Yeah, you have to put the ball in the basket, and he refused to put the ball in the basket.
He's like, I'm so bad at this, I'm not even going to take a layup.
Yeah.
Just get me out of here.
It's
Last thing I want to do.
flaw in his game.
Last thing I want to do is shoot. It's like a baseball player. Like, I love it. I know there are 5 total players. I got like 2 of the tools. I can't. Yeah, and I just hate swinging. I don't even want to swing. Someone else swing for me, please.
It is interesting that Juju brought that up because I feel like we haven't yet seen this summer the annual Ben Simmons summer workout video.
Of him draining threes, right? He
Right.
hits 14 threes in a row, and it's like he's back.
It's going to be like the John Wall retirement, where he announces it like 8 years after he stopped playing, and you're like, what?
Juju, you got some polls for us to update today?
Yes, sir. When Tua got blindsided and didn't fumble, was that the play of the day for the Dolphins? 97% of the audience says yes, it was.
Yep, easy.
Does anyone think that biting is cool? 82% of the audience says no, they don't.
I feel like
I'm with you.
3-year-olds think it's cool.
And Mike Tyson, if you drop a tarantula down Leo Messi's shorts, would he still be cool? 71% of the audience says yes, he would.
No, liars.
Who was better on Sunday, Daniel Jones or Aaron Rodgers? 56% of the audience says Daniel Jones.
Those MVP tickets looking mighty nice about now, huh, Juju?
Oh, yeah. Danny Dimes. Do you love breakfast pizza? 53% of the audience says yes, they do.
Yeah, sure. Why not?
And the last poll, should Houston's center be named Houston Center? 94% of the audience says yes, he should, and those are your polls.
Great job, Juju. Thanks, man.
Thank y'all, brothers.